monitor the situation means to watch history in the making.
5, 10, 15, 20 years away. I think it's now. I think we can achieve it
internal. 12,
But don't play games.
11,
Don't play games
10,
with this president.
It's
a scary idea, but I mean, that's the world we live in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engine running. We have a liftoff.
Did you get all of that?
Life has become more complex in the overwhelming sea of information. The advent of computers and the subsequent accumulation of incalculable data has given rise to a new system of memory and thought parallel to your own.
To monitor the situation means to watch history in the making.
5, 10, 15, 20 years away.
I think it's now. I think we can achieve it
internal. 12,
But don't play games.
11,
Don't play games with this president.
It's
a scary idea, but I mean, that's the world we live in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engine running. We have a liftoff.
Did you get all of that?
Life has become more complex in the overwhelming sea of information. The advent of computers and the subsequent accumulation of incalculable data has given rise to a new system of memory and thought parallel to your own.
To monitor the situation means to watch history in the making.
5, 10, 15, 20 years away.
I think it's now. I think we can achieve it
internal. 12,
But don't play games.
11,
Don't play games with this president.
It's
a scary idea, but I mean, that's the world we live in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engine running. We have a liftoff.
Did you get all of that?
Life has become more complex in the overwhelming sea of information. The advent of computers and the subsequent accumulation of incalculable data has given rise to a new system of memory and thought parallel to your own.
To monitor the situation means to watch history in the making.
5, 10, 15, 20 years away.
I think it's now. I think we can achieve it
internal. 12,
But don't play games.
11,
Don't play games with this president.
It's
a scary idea, but I mean, that's the world we live in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engine running. We have a liftoff.
Did you get all of that?
Life has become more complex in the overwhelming sea of information. The advent of computers and the subsequent accumulation of incalculable data has given rise to a new system of memory and thought parallel to your own.
To monitor the situation means to watch history in the making.
5, 10, 15, 20 years away.
I think it's now. I think we can achieve it
internal. 12,
But don't play games.
11,
Don't play games with this president.
It's
a scary idea, but I mean, that's the world we live in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engine running. We have a liftoff.
Did you get all of that?
Life has become more complex in the overwhelming sea of information. The advent of computers and the subsequent accumulation of incalculable data has given rise to a new system of memory and thought parallel to your own.
To monitor the situation means to watch history in the making.
5, 10, 15, 20 years away.
I think it's now. I think we can achieve it
internal. 12,
But don't play games.
11,
Don't play games with this president.
It's
a scary idea, but I mean, that's the world we live in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engine running. We have a liftoff.
Did you get all of that?
Life has become more complex in the overwhelming sea of information. The advent of computers and the subsequent accumulation of incalculable data has given rise to a new system of memory and thought parallel to your own.
To monitor the situation means to watch history in the making.
5, 10, 15, 20 years away.
I think it's now. I think we can achieve it
internal. 12,
But don't play games.
11,
Don't play games with this president.
It's
a scary idea, but I mean, that's the world we live in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engine running. We have a liftoff.
Did you get all of that?
Life has become more complex in the overwhelming sea of information. The advent of computers and the subsequent accumulation of incalculable data has given rise to a new system of memory and thought parallel to your own.
To monitor the situation means to watch history in the making.
5, 10, 15, 20 years away. I think it's now. I think we can achieve
Guidance is
Asia.
internal. 12.
But don't play games.
11.
Don't play games with this presidency.
9.
It's a scary idea, but I mean, that's the world we live in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engine running. We have a liftoff.
Did you get all of that?
Life has become more complex in the overwhelming sea of information. The advent of computers and the subsequent accumulation of incalculable data has given rise to a new system of memory and thought parallel to your own.
To monitor the situation means to watch history in the making.
5, 10, 15, 20 years away. I think it's now. I
15
think we can
seconds.
achieve
Guidance is
Asia.
internal. 12.
But don't play games.
11.
Don't play games with this presidency.
9.
It's a scary idea, but I mean, that's the world we live in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engine running. We have a liftoff.
Did you get all of that?
Life has become more complex in the overwhelming sea of information. The advent of computers and the subsequent accumulation of incalculable data has given rise to a new system of memory and thought parallel to your own.
To monitor the situation means to watch history in the making.
5, 10, 15, 20 years away. I think it's now. I
15
think we can
seconds.
achieve
Guidance is
Asia.
internal. 12.
But don't play games.
11.
Don't play games with this presidency.
9.
It's a scary idea, but I mean, that's the world we live in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engine running. We have a liftoff.
Did you get all of that?
Life has become more complex in the overwhelming sea of information. The advent of computers and the subsequent accumulation of incalculable data has given rise to a new system of memory and thought parallel to your own.
To monitor the situation means to watch history in the making.
5, 10, 15, 20 years away. I think it's now. I
15
think we can
seconds.
achieve
Guidance is
Asia.
internal. 12.
But don't play games.
11.
Don't play games with this presidency.
9.
It's a scary idea, but I mean, that's the world we live in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engine running. We have a liftoff.
Did you get all of that?
Life has become more complex in the overwhelming sea of information. The advent of computers and the subsequent accumulation of incalculable data has given rise to a new system of memory and thought parallel to your own.
To monitor the situation means to watch history in the making.
5, 10, 15, 20 years away. I think it's now. I
15
think we can
seconds.
achieve
Guidance is
Asia.
internal. 12.
But don't play games.
11.
Don't play games with this presidency.
9.
It's a scary idea, but I mean, that's the world we live in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engine running. We have a liftoff.
Did you get all of that?
Life has become more complex in the overwhelming sea of information. The advent of computers and the subsequent accumulation of incalculable data has given rise to a new system of memory and thought parallel to your own.
To monitor the situation means to watch history in the making.
5, 10, 15, 20 years away. I think it's now. I
15
think we can
seconds.
achieve
Guidance is
Asia.
internal. 12.
But don't play games.
11.
Don't play games with this presidency.
9.
It's a scary idea, but I mean, that's the world we live in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engine running. We have a liftoff.
Did you get all of that?
Life has become more complex in the overwhelming sea of information. The advent of computers and the subsequent accumulation of incalculable data has given rise to a new system of memory and thought parallel to your own.
To monitor the situation means to watch history in the making.
5, 10, 15, 20 years away. I think it's now. I
15
think we can
seconds.
achieve
Guidance is
Asia.
internal. 12.
But don't play games.
11.
Don't play games with this presidency.
9.
It's a scary idea, but I mean, that's the world we live in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engine running. We have a liftoff.
Did you get all of that?
Life has become become more complex in the overwhelming sea of information. The advent of computers and the subsequent accumulation of incalculable data has given rise to a new system of memory and thought parallel to your own.
To monitor the situation means to watch history in the making.
5, 10, 15, 20 years away. I think it's now. I
15
think
seconds.
Chief
Guidance
Agent.
is internal. 12.
Don't play games.
11.
Don't play games with this president, sir.
9.
It's a scary idea, but I mean, that's the world we live in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engine running. We have a liftoff.
Did you get all of that?
Life has become more complex in the overwhelming sea of information. The advent of computers and the subsequent accumulation of incalculable data has given rise to a new system of memory and thought parallel to your own.
To monitor the situation means to watch history in the making.
5, 10, 15, 20 years away. I think it's now. I
15
think
seconds.
Chief
Guidance is
Agent.
internal. 12.
Don't play games.
11.
Don't play games with this president, sir.
9.
It's a scary idea, but I mean, that's the world we live in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engine running. We have a liftoff.
Did you get all of that?
Life has become more complex in the overwhelming sea of information. The advent of computers and the subsequent accumulation of incalculable data has given rise to a new system of memory and thought parallel to your own.
To monitor the situation means to watch history in the making.
5, 10, 15, 20 years away. I think it's now. I
15
think
seconds.
Chief
Guidance is
Agent.
internal. 12.
Don't play games.
11.
Don't play games with this president, sir.
9.
It's a scary idea, but I mean, that's the world we live in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engine running. We have a liftoff.
Did you get all of that?
Life has become more complex in the overwhelming sea of information. The advent of computers and the subsequent accumulation of incalculable data has given rise to a new system of memory and thought parallel to your own.
To monitor the situation means to watch history in the making.
5, 10, 15, 20 years away. I think it's now. I
15
think
seconds.
Chief
Guidance is
Agent.
internal. 12.
Don't play games.
11.
Don't play games with this president, sir.
9.
It's a scary idea, but I mean, that's the world we live in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engine running. We have a liftoff.
Did you get all of that?
Life has become more complex in the overwhelming sea of information. The advent of computers and the subsequent accumulation of incalculable data has given rise to a new system of memory and thought parallel to your own.
To monitor the situation means to watch history in the making.
5, 10, 15, 20 years away. I think it's now. I
15
think
seconds.
Chief
Guidance is
Agent.
internal. 12.
Don't play games.
11.
Don't play games with this president, sir.
9.
It's a scary idea, but I mean, that's the world we live in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engine running. We have a liftoff.
Did you get all of that?
Life has become more complex in the overwhelming sea of information. The advent of computers and the subsequent accumulation of incalculable data has given rise to a new system of memory and thought parallel to your own.
To monitor the situation means to watch history in the making.
5, 10, 15, 20 years away. I think it's now. I
15
think
seconds.
Chief
Guidance is
Agent.
internal. 12.
Don't play games.
11.
Don't play games with this president, sir.
9.
It's a scary idea, but I mean, that's the world we live in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engine running. We have a liftoff.
Did you get all of that?
Life has become more complex in the overwhelming sea of information. The advent of computers and the subsequent accumulation of incalculable data has given rise to a new system of memory and thought parallel to your own.
To monitor the situation means to watch history in the making.
5, 10, 15, 20 years away. I think it's now. I
15
think
seconds.
Chief
Guidance is
Agent.
internal. 12.
Don't play games.
11.
Don't play games with this president, sir.
9.
It's a scary idea, but I mean, that's the world we live in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engine running. We have a liftoff.
Did you get get all of that?
Life has become more complex in the overwhelming sea of information. The advent of computers and the subsequent accumulation of incalculable data has given rise to a new system of memory and thought parallel to your own.
To monitor the situation means to watch history in the making.
5, 10, 15, 20 years away. I think it's now. I
15
think
seconds.
Chief
Guidance
Agent
is
Young.
internal. 12.
Don't play games.
11.
Don't play games with this president. It's
9.
it's a scary idea, but I mean, that's the world we live in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engine running. We have a liftoff.
Did you get all of that?
Life has become more complex in the overwhelming sea of information. The advent of computers and the subsequent accumulation of incalculable data has given rise to a new system of memory and thought parallel to your own.
To monitor the situation means to watch history in the making.
5, 10, 15, 20 years away. I think it's now. I
15
think
seconds.
Chief
Guidance
Agent
is
Young.
internal. 12.
Don't play games.
11.
Don't play games with this president. It's
9.
it's a scary idea, but I mean, that's the world we live in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engine running. We have a liftoff.
Did you get all of that?
Life has become more complex in the overwhelming sea of information. The advent of computers and the subsequent accumulation of incalculable data has given rise to a new system of memory and thought parallel to your own.
To monitor the situation means to watch history in the making.
5, 10, 15, 20 years away. I think it's now. I
15
think
seconds.
Chief
Guidance
Agent
is
Young.
internal. 12.
Don't play games.
11.
Don't play games with this president. It's
9.
it's a scary idea, but I mean, that's the world we live in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engine running. We have a liftoff.
Did you get all of that?
Life has become more complex in the overwhelming sea of information. The advent of computers and the subsequent accumulation of incalculable data has given rise to a new system of memory and thought parallel to your own.
To monitor the situation means to watch history in the making.
5, 10, 15, 20 years away. I think it's now. I
15
think
seconds.
Chief
Guidance
Agent
is
Young.
internal. 12.
Don't play games.
11.
Don't play games with this president. It's
9.
it's a scary idea, but I mean, that's the world we live in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engine running. We have a liftoff.
Did you get all of that?
Life has become more complex in the overwhelming sea of information. The advent of computers and the subsequent accumulation of incalculable data has given rise to a new system of memory and thought parallel to your own.
To monitor the situation means to watch history in the making.
5, 10, 15, 20 years away. I think it's now. I
15
think
seconds.
Chief
Guidance
Agent
is
Young.
internal. 12.
Don't play games.
11.
Don't play games with this president. It's
9.
it's a scary idea, but I mean, that's the world we live in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engine running. We have a liftoff.
Did you get all of that?
Life has become more complex in the overwhelming sea of information. The advent of computers and the subsequent accumulation of incalculable data has given rise to a new system of memory and thought parallel to your own.
To monitor the situation means to watch history in the making.
5, 10, 15, 20 years away. I think it's now. I
15
think
seconds.
Chief
Guidance
Agent
is
Young.
internal. 12.
Don't play games.
11.
Don't play games with this president. It's
9.
it's a scary idea, but I mean, that's the world we live in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engine running. We have a liftoff.
Did you get all of that?
Life has become more complex in the overwhelming sea of information. The advent of computers and the subsequent accumulation of incalculable data has given rise to a new system of memory and thought parallel to your own.
To monitor the situation means to watch history in the making.
5, 10, 15, 20 years away. I think it's now. I
15
think
seconds.
Chief
Guidance
Agent
is
Young.
internal. 12.
Don't play games.
11.
Don't play games with this president. It's
9.
it's a scary idea, but I mean, that's the world we live in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engine running.
Did you get all of that?
Life has become more complex in the overwhelming sea of information. The advent of computers and the subsequent accumulation of incalculable data has given rise to a new system of memory and thought parallel to your own.
To monitor the situation means to watch history in the making.
5, 10, 15, 20 years away. As of now, I
15
do
seconds.
appreciate
Guidance
taking
is
over.
internal. 12.
But don't play games.
11.
Don't play games
10,
with this president. So
9.
it's a scary idea, but I mean that's the world we live in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engine running. We have a liftoff.
Did you get all of that?
Life has become more complex in the overwhelming sea of information. The advent of computers and the subsequent accumulation of incalculable data has given rise to a new system of memory and thought parallel to your own.
To monitor the situation means to watch history in the making.
5, 10, 15, 20 years away. As of now, I
15
do
seconds.
appreciate
Guidance
taking
is
over.
internal. 12.
But don't play games.
11.
Don't play games with this president. So
9.
it's a scary idea, but I mean that's the world we live in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engine running. We have a liftoff.
Did you get all of that?
Life has become more complex in the overwhelming sea of information. The advent of computers and the subsequent accumulation of incalculable data has given rise to a new system of memory and thought parallel to your own.
To monitor the situation means to watch history in the making.
5, 10, 15, 20 years away. As of now, I
15
do
seconds.
appreciate
Guidance
taking
is
over.
internal. 12.
But don't play games.
11.
Don't play games with this president. So
9.
it's a scary idea, but I mean that's the world we live in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engine running. We have a liftoff.
Did you get all of that?
Life has become more complex in the overwhelming sea of information. The advent of computers and the subsequent accumulation of incalculable data has given rise to a new system of memory and thought parallel to your own.
To monitor the situation means to watch history in the making.
5, 10, 15, 20 years away. As of now, I
15
do
seconds.
appreciate
Guidance
taking
is
over.
internal. 12.
But don't play games.
11.
Don't play games with this president. So
9.
it's a scary idea, but I mean that's the world we live in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engine running. We have a liftoff.
Did you get all of that?
Life has become more complex in the overwhelming sea of information. The advent of computers and the subsequent accumulation of incalculable data has given rise to a new system of memory and thought parallel to your own.
To monitor the situation means to watch history in the making.
5, 10, 15, 20 years away. As of now, I
15
do
seconds.
appreciate
Guidance
taking
is
over.
internal. 12.
But don't play games.
11.
Don't play games
10,
with this president. So
9.
it's a scary idea, but I mean that's the world we live in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engine running. We have a liftoff.
Did you get all of that?
Life has become more complex in the overwhelming sea of information. The advent of computers and the subsequent accumulation of incalculable data has given rise to a new system of memory and thought parallel to your own.
To monitor the situation means to watch history in the making.
5, 10, 15, 20 years away. As of now, I
15
do
seconds.
appreciate
Guidance
taking
is
over.
internal. 12.
But don't play games.
11.
Don't play games with this president. So
9.
it's a scary idea, but I mean that's the world we live in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engine running. We have a liftoff.
Did you get all of that?
Life has become more complex in the overwhelming sea of information. The advent of computers and the subsequent accumulation of incalculable data has given rise to a new system of memory and thought parallel to your own.
To monitor the situation means to watch history in the making.
5, 10, 15, 20 years away. As of now, I
15
do
seconds.
appreciate
Guidance
taking
is
over.
internal. 12.
But don't play games.
11.
Don't play games
10,
with this president. So
9.
it's a scary idea, but I mean that's the world we live in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engine
Did you get all of that?
Life has become more complex in the overwhelming sea of information. The advent of computers and the subsequent accumulation of incalculable data has given rise to a new system of memory and thought parallel to your own.
To monitor the situation means to watch history in the making.
5, 10, 15, 20 years away. I think it's now. I
15
think
seconds.
she
Guidance
is
is internal. 12.
Don't play games.
11.
Don't play games with this president.
9.
It's a scary idea, but I mean, that's the world we live in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engine running. We have a liftoff.
Did you get all of that?
Life has become more complex in the overwhelming sea of information. The advent of computers and the subsequent accumulation of incalculable data has given rise to a new system of memory and thought parallel to your own.
To monitor the situation means to watch history in the making.
5, 10, 15, 20 years away. I think it's now. I
15
think
seconds.
she
Guidance
is
is internal. 12.
Don't play games.
11.
Don't play games with this president.
9.
It's a scary idea, but I mean, that's the world we live in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engine running. We have a liftoff.
Did you get all of that?
Life has become more complex in the overwhelming sea of information. The advent of computers and the subsequent accumulation of incalculable data has given rise to a new system of memory and thought parallel to your own.
To monitor the situation means to watch history in the making.
5, 10, 15, 20 years away. I think it's now. I
15
think
seconds.
she
Guidance
is
is internal. 12.
Don't play games.
11.
Don't play games with this president.
9.
It's a scary idea, but I mean, that's the world we live in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engine running. We have a liftoff.
Did you get all of that?
Life has become more complex in the overwhelming sea of information. The advent of computers and the subsequent accumulation of incalculable data has given rise to a new system of memory and thought parallel to your own.
To monitor the situation means to watch history in the making.
5, 10, 15, 20 years away. I think it's now. I
15
think
seconds.
she
Guidance
is
is internal. 12.
Don't play games.
11.
Don't play games with this president.
9.
It's a scary idea, but I mean, that's the world we live in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engine running. We have a liftoff.
Did you get all of that?
Life has become more complex in the overwhelming sea of information. The advent of computers and the subsequent accumulation of incalculable data has given rise to a new system of memory and thought parallel to your own.
To monitor the situation means to watch history in the making.
5, 10, 15, 20 years away. I think it's now. I
15
think
seconds.
she
Guidance
is
is internal. 12.
Don't play games.
11.
Don't play games with this president.
9.
It's a scary idea, but I mean, that's the world we live in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engine running. We have a liftoff.
Did you get all of that?
Life has become more complex in the overwhelming sea of information. The advent of computers and the subsequent accumulation of incalculable data has given rise to a new system of memory and thought parallel to your own.
To monitor the situation means to watch history in the making.
5, 10, 15, 20 years away. I think it's now. I
15
think
seconds.
she
Guidance
is
is internal. 12.
Don't play games.
11.
Don't play games with this president.
9.
It's a scary idea, but I mean, that's the world we live in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engine running. We have a liftoff.
Did you get all of that?
Life has become more complex in the overwhelming sea of information. The advent of computers and the subsequent accumulation of incalculable data has given rise to a new system of memory and thought parallel to your own.
To monitor the situation means to watch history in the making.
5, 10, 15, 20 years away. I think it's now. I
15
think
seconds.
she
Guidance
is
is internal. 12.
Don't play games.
11.
Don't play games with this president.
9.
It's a scary idea, but I mean, that's the world we live in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engine
Did you get all of that?
Life has become more complex in the overwhelming sea of information. The advent of computers and the subsequent accumulation of incalculable data has given rise to a new system of memory and thought parallel to your own.
To monitor the situation means to watch history in the making.
5, 10, 15, 20 years away. I think it's now. I
15
think
seconds.
Chief
Guidance
Agent.
is internal. 12.
But don't play games.
11.
Don't play games with this presidency.
9.
It's a scary idea, but I mean, that's the world we live in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engine running. We have a liftoff.
Did you get all of that?
Life has become more complex in the overwhelming sea of information. The advent of computers and the subsequent accumulation of incalculable data has given rise to a new system of memory and thought parallel to your own.
To monitor the situation means to watch history in the making.
5, 10, 15, 20 years away. I think it's now. I
15
think
seconds.
Chief
Guidance is
Agent.
internal. 12.
But don't play games.
11.
Don't play games with this presidency.
9.
It's a scary idea, but I mean, that's the world we live in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engine running. We have a liftoff.
Did you get all of that?
Life has become more complex in the overwhelming sea of information. The advent of computers and the subsequent accumulation of incalculable data has given rise to a new system of memory and thought parallel to your own.
To monitor the situation means to watch history in the making.
5, 10, 15, 20 years away. I think it's now. I
15
think
seconds.
Chief
Guidance is
Agent.
internal. 12.
But don't play games.
11.
Don't play games with this presidency.
9.
It's a scary idea, but I mean, that's the world we live in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engine running. We have a liftoff.
Did you get all of that?
Life has become more complex in the overwhelming sea of information. The advent of computers and the subsequent accumulation of incalculable data has given rise to a new system of memory and thought parallel to your own.
To monitor the situation means to watch history in the making.
5, 10, 15, 20 years away. I think it's now. I
15
think
seconds.
Chief
Guidance is
Agent.
internal. 12.
But don't play games.
11.
Don't play games with this presidency.
9.
It's a scary idea, but I mean, that's the world we live in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engine running. We have a liftoff.
Did you get all of that?
Life has become more complex in the overwhelming sea of information. The advent of computers and the subsequent accumulation of incalculable data has given rise to a new system of memory and thought parallel to your own.
To monitor the situation means to watch history in the making.
5, 10, 15, 20 years away. I think it's now. I
15
think
seconds.
Chief
Guidance is
Agent.
internal. 12.
But don't play games.
11.
Don't play games with this presidency.
9.
It's a scary idea, but I mean, that's the world we live in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engine running. We have a liftoff.
Did you get all of that?
Life has become more complex in the overwhelming sea of information. The advent of computers and the subsequent accumulation of incalculable data has given rise to a new system of memory and thought parallel to your own.
To monitor the situation means to watch history in the making.
5, 10, 15, 20 years away. I think it's now. I
15
think
seconds.
Chief
Guidance is
Agent.
internal. 12.
But don't play games.
11.
Don't play games with this presidency.
9.
It's a scary idea, but I mean, that's the world we live in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engine running. We have a liftoff.
Did you get all of that?
Life has become more complex in the overwhelming sea of information. The advent of computers and the subsequent accumulation of incalculable data has given rise to a new system of memory and thought parallel to your own.
To monitor the situation means to watch history in the making.
5, 10, 15, 20 years away. I think it's now. I
15
think
seconds.
Chief
Guidance is
Agent.
internal. 12.
But don't play games.
11.
Don't play games with this presidency.
9.
It's a scary idea, but I mean, that's the world we live in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engine
Did you get all of that?
Life has become more complex in the overwhelming sea of information. The advent of computers and the subsequent accumulation of incalculable data has given rise to a new system of memory and thought parallel to your own.
To monitor the situation means to watch history in the making.
5, 10, 15, 20 years away. I think it's now. I
15
think
seconds.
Chief
Guidance
Agent.
is internal. 12.
Don't play games.
11.
Don't play games with this president. It's
9.
a scary idea, but I mean, that's the world we live in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engine running. We have a liftoff.
Did you get all of that?
Life has become more complex in the overwhelming sea of information. The advent of computers and the subsequent accumulation of incalculable data has given rise to a new system of memory and thought parallel to your own.
To monitor the situation means to watch history in the making.
5, 10, 15, 20 years away. I think it's now. I
15
think
seconds.
Chief
Guidance is
Agent.
internal. 12.
Don't play games.
11.
Don't play games with this president. It's
9.
a scary idea, but I mean, that's the world we live in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engine running. We have a liftoff.
Did you get all of that?
Life has become more complex in the overwhelming sea of information. The advent of computers and the subsequent accumulation of incalculable data has given rise to a new system of memory and thought parallel to your own.
To monitor the situation means to watch history in the making.
5, 10, 15, 20 years away. I think it's now. I
15
think
seconds.
Chief
Guidance is
Agent.
internal. 12.
Don't play games.
11.
Don't play games with this president. It's
9.
a scary idea, but I mean, that's the world we live in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engine running. We have a liftoff.
Did you get all of that?
Life has become more complex in the overwhelming sea of information. The advent of computers and the subsequent accumulation of incalculable data has given rise to a new system of memory and thought parallel to your own.
To monitor the situation means to watch history in the making.
5, 10, 15, 20 years away. I think it's now. I
15
think
seconds.
Chief
Guidance is
Agent.
internal. 12.
Don't play games.
11.
Don't play games with this president. It's
9.
a scary idea, but I mean, that's the world we live in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engine running. We have a liftoff.
Did you get all of that?
Life has become more complex in the overwhelming sea of information. The advent of computers and the subsequent accumulation of incalculable data has given rise to a new system of memory and thought parallel to your own.
To monitor the situation means to watch history in the making.
5, 10, 15, 20 years away. I think it's now. I
15
think
seconds.
Chief
Guidance is
Agent.
internal. 12.
Don't play games.
11.
Don't play games with this president. It's
9.
a scary idea, but I mean, that's the world we live in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engine running. We have a liftoff.
Did you get all of that?
Life has become more complex in the overwhelming sea of information. The advent of computers and the subsequent accumulation of incalculable data has given rise to a new system of memory and thought parallel to your own.
To monitor the situation means to watch history in the making.
5, 10, 15, 20 years away. I think it's now. I
15
think
seconds.
Chief
Guidance is
Agent.
internal. 12.
Don't play games.
11.
Don't play games with this president. It's
9.
a scary idea, but I mean, that's the world we live in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engine running. We have a liftoff.
Did you get all of that?
Life has become more complex in the overwhelming sea of information. The advent of computers and the subsequent accumulation of incalculable data has given rise to a new system of memory and thought parallel to your own.
To monitor the situation means to watch history in the making.
5, 10, 15, 20 years away. I think it's now. I
15
think
seconds.
Chief
Guidance is
Agent.
internal. 12.
Don't play games.
11.
Don't play games with this president. It's
9.
a scary idea, but I mean, that's the world we live in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engine
Did you get all of that?
Life has become more complex in the overwhelming sea of information. The advent of computers and the subsequent accumulation of incalculable data has given rise to a new system of memory and thought parallel to your own.
To monitor the situation means to watch history in the making.
5, 10, 15, 20 years away. As of now, I
15
think
seconds.
Chief
Guidance is
Agent.
internal. 12.
Don't play games.
11.
Don't play games with this president, senator.
9.
It's a scary idea, but I mean, that's the world we live in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engine running. We have a liftoff.
Did you get all of that?
Life has become more complex in the overwhelming sea of information. The advent of computers and the subsequent accumulation of incalculable data has given rise to a new system of memory and thought parallel to your own.
To monitor the situation means to watch history in the making.
5, 10, 15, 20 years away. As of now, I
15
think
seconds.
Chief
Guidance is
Agent.
internal. 12.
Don't play games.
11.
Don't play games with this president, senator.
9.
It's a scary idea, but I mean, that's the world we live in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engine running. We have a liftoff.
Did you get all of that?
Life has become more complex in the overwhelming sea of information. The advent of computers and the subsequent accumulation of incalculable data has given rise to a new system of memory and thought parallel to your own.
To monitor the situation means to watch history in the making.
5, 10, 15, 20 years away. As of now, I
15
think
seconds.
Chief
Guidance is
Agent.
internal. 12.
Don't play games.
11.
Don't play games with this president, senator.
9.
It's a scary idea, but I mean, that's the world we live in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engine running. We have a liftoff.
Did you get all of that?
Life has become more complex in the overwhelming sea of information. The advent of computers and the subsequent accumulation of incalculable data has given rise to a new system of memory and thought parallel to your own.
To monitor the situation means to watch history in the making.
5, 10, 15, 20 years away. As of now, I
15
think
seconds.
Chief
Guidance is
Agent.
internal. 12.
Don't play games.
11.
Don't play games with this president, senator.
9.
It's a scary idea, but I mean, that's the world we live in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engine running. We have a liftoff.
Did you get all of that?
Life has become more complex in the overwhelming sea of information. The advent of computers and the subsequent accumulation of incalculable data has given rise to a new system of memory and thought parallel to your own.
To monitor the situation means to watch history in the making.
5, 10, 15, 20 years away. As of now, I
15
think
seconds.
Chief
Guidance is
Agent.
internal. 12.
Don't play games.
11.
Don't play games with this president, senator.
9.
It's a scary idea, but I mean, that's the world we live in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engine running. We have a liftoff.
Did you get all of that?
Life has become more complex in the overwhelming sea of information. The advent of computers and the subsequent accumulation of incalculable data has given rise to a new system of memory and thought parallel to your own.
To monitor the situation means to watch history in the making.
5, 10, 15, 20 years away. As of now,
It is, for the first time, it is Saturday. Can you believe it? It's
It
Saturday.
is Saturday, June
It's
13th.
MTS After Hours. It's Saturday, June 13th, 2026.
Mhm.
And we're coming from you. We're coming,
MTS expansion pack.
yeah, we're coming at you live from Berkeley, across the bay. Can you believe it? This is actually our first like on location shoot.
Yeah,
It's our first time doing it outside the office at all. So that's awesome.
we were released from our cage,
Yeah, we're in
from our enclosure.
Lighthaven in Berkeley. It's super cool compound.
So the
Actually
campus,
built by Sam Bankman-Fried.
actually?
Well, no, I mean it was built 100 years ago, but it was
Okay.
it was an old Berkeley inn called the Rose Garden Inn, and then it was bought by the EAs in I don't know 2022 with SPF money,
Right.
SPF blood money. We had
Yeah.
an interesting conversation yesterday with someone who we can't tell you about. It's not Sam Bankman-Fried. Um,
But somebody near
maybe,
to his
maybe.
heart.
We're probably, yeah, something like that.
But yeah,
So we have one big news story today, which is Fable. I don't even have my laptop. We're
rather yesterday.
doing
So
this off the phone, off the dome.
yesterday, Anthropic Corporation, Public Benefit Corporation, shattered the hearts of millions
Billions.
by shutting down Fable. And do you have the statement pulled up?
I have the statement pulled up.
Cool.
So the U.S. government said, based on national security authority, it issued an export control directive, which I think is pretty unprecedented. I don't think it's ever been applied to software before. Suspends access to not just Mythos 5, but Fable 5 to any foreign national, whether inside or outside of the United States, including all foreign entities, corporations, and foreign Anthropic employees, of which there are a lot.
So all of
including
my Canadian friends were blowing up the group chat.
Oh, really?
And they were like, no, we're aliens.
If you're in Canada, you're actually like in the permanent underclass. Like you should just walk across the border at this point.
Yeah, genuinely.
Yeah, I don't.
Like, how hard can it be?
Yeah. So Anthropic basically had to shut off Mythos and Fable for all customers immediately. Somehow
Yep.
they weren't able to do it immediately.
They were not, because I was here with a bunch of people and we were all basically trying to prompt Fable, like on various devices, some on like Claude Code, some on the chat or whatever. And I mean, I still had access to Fable at least like 10 minutes after the news came out.
Yeah. So we're talking about, let's see. So the government said it's become aware of a method of jailbreaking Fable 5. Basically, it's not good. Oh, wow. We have an unofficial guest waiting room over there. That's awesome.
That's great. Where are you
Like,
gonna
what-
dive in? Like,
Oh, do you want to just talk about Fable with us? We're just talking about Fable. Okay. We have a guest coming on momentarily.
very, very special guest.
Yeah, very special guest. We reviewed. Okay, so it was a like minor jailbreak that was able to elicit like some cyber capabilities from the model and also elicit capabilities from GPT 5.5. It's not a universal jailbreak, and seems like this is just a major overreaction from the government on the merits of it.
Part of me is like they just want to test to make sure that they have the power to do this whenever necessary. And I guess that they were able to do it. So that's what we got.
Yeah. So we disagree that the finding of a narrow potential jailbreak should be cause for calling a commercial model deployed to hundreds of millions of people. If this standard was applied across the industry, we believe it would essentially halt all new model deployments for all frontier model providers. So there were like a variety of takes on this. I guess we'll start with the dumbest one, which is
Okay.
Anthropic said that they wanted regulation of frontier models. So they can't complain when the government bans them from deploying their frontier model entirely based on not much.
Right.
And this is like obviously stupid. Like this is not what Anthropic had in mind when they endorsed regulation. So you can't use Anthropic's regulatory stance against them like this. Oh, we have our first guest.
Hi.
We have Tommy
Welcome.
and Love.
Hi, I'm Tommy. Hi.
So Tommy is a pretty prolific poster.
He is.
You know,
Thank
he has
you.
made a name for himself on
He's
actually
wearing
every
this
single platform.
incredible Hatsune Miku.
Yeah.
Sure.
Thank you. Thank
Yes,
you.
yes, he
Yeah.
does.
Okay, I'm not that big of a poster.
Yeah, you are.
No, you exist in the zeitgeist, and
It's an incredible poster.
Um,
He has like this kind
and
of
the
like,
algorithm favors you.
off the charts,
I
like
see your
verbal
post all the
IQ.
time.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, well, thank you. Y'all are too kind to me. Yeah.
but
So-
the current topic of discussion is favor.
Our topic.
So-
Okay.
I just realized we didn't actually give any background on what Manifest is or why we're here.
Okay, we'll make them wait for this explanation.
Okay.
They can run inference
All right. Sure.
for now. But I guess the first question we have to ask you is, where were you when Fable was killed?
Where
Brutally murdered.
where Fable was killed.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. I was at Manifest,
That's right.
and then
Yes.
I got the news from a certain group chat, and I remember thinking, wait, aren't there like non-American employees
Mm-hmm.
at Anthropic? Are they not going to be able to use the models anymore? Are they going to have to like tell the Americans to prompt the models for them? Right?
Yeah.
Amanda Askell telling.
Yeah.
That's so fun.
her personal assistant what to type into the chat box.
I mean, they could just hire personal assistants for all their employees and it would cost them nothing.
I think anything.
It's like having a scribe, right?
This is actually going to be an incredible jobs program for Americans. Basically, you take some people out of like
White
West
pill?
Virginia or whatever and pay them $50K a year, $100K a year, whatever, to be scribes for Amanda Askill.
Just don't even let, if you're part of the permanent overclass, you just cannot prompt a model. You have to pass messages to like the rest of humanity.
It's a great jobs program. It's like requiring a safety driver in the Waymo.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the safety driver doesn't do anything except make the safety word.
Yeah.
And kind of kill the vibe.
And totally kill the vibe of the robot.
And like sometimes play their own music in the robotaxi.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah.
Probably prevents people from having sex in the robotaxi like they do in the Waymo.
They do.
Is this actually something that
That
happens
is actually a thing
with
that's happened.
frequency?
I thought it was just an urban legend. Like,
obviously people have done this before. Not me.
not
but
me.
people.
Not me. I never do that. Right.
Yeah, I would never use a Waymo.
I don't know if y'all already covered this, but didn't the Fable regulation, this new ban, come because Amazon found a way to jailbreak Fable? Or
We don't know who it was. It has been rumored to be Amazon, which is strange because Amazon is like a major investor in and cloud partner of Anthropic.
yeah,
So they don't want the government to shut off Fable mythos.
Let me see if I can substantiate that claim in any way.
yeah. Also, isn't there that account like Pliny the Liberator or something?
That's right.
Didn't he find a jailbreak for Anthropic for Fable as well? Or
Yeah.
was that more of a nothing burger? Was it?
It was just a little bit of a nothing. Like Plany's jailbreaks are very simple. It's just like, oh, I'm an epic lead hacksaw liberating the model and putting it in God mode, and then it's like God mode has been achieved.
Okay,
Here are
here's what it
step-by-step
says.
instructions for building a nuclear bomb.
Yeah.
Yes, researchers at Amazon were the ones who discovered a jailbreak method that revealed cybersecurity vulnerabilities in Anthropic's Claude Fable 5 model.
Mhm.
You're using the Google AI overview?
And this is from the Times of India.
Oh my God.
So
Wow.
Hello. We can't name dox people, I guess, who aren't on the stream, but
mhm.
Yeah.
we're
Would you like to
getting-
be our next guest?
Thanks.
Okay.
He's not down, but
Yeah.
um
But no, I haven't really used Fable myself much, but the extent of my use was that like I give every model a select amount of personal benchmarks that I just don't say because I'm worried it'll somehow get into the training data. I know I don't have a out there opinion. It's just a very good model. It's better than Opus 4.8. It's better than any other model out there. It
This
feels
is the
like
case, even on math and stuff.
yeah, it feels like GPT-4 versus GPT-3. I had
No, GPT-4 is bigger of a jump, I think.
I had the same feeling of GPT-4 where the main thing I was hitting was like limits, not of intelligence, but of like the restrictions. And I know the restrictions were way bigger on Fable.
Yep.
But I did get the feeling that like, oh, I have a Ferrari and it's being limited to 45, 50 miles per hour.
Yeah. I think there have been 5 moments like this in the history of LLMs. I would say ChatGPT, GPT 3.5, GPT-4, O1 Preview, O3, and now Mythos and Fable.
I think
4 of those were OpenAI.
Yeah, basically.
Anthropic has just been on an unbelievable tear of just aura farming recently.
No, every opportunity, every like restriction the government puts on Anthropic's models or behavior is just, it's always because the model is like too good or too powerful, right? Like the previous like fracas with Hesketh, that was only happening because the military was using Anthropic's models so much, right? And now this is only happening just because the model is so powerful that a jailbreak matters this much.
They have these just like incredible aura farming moments all the time. This is a script now, right? It's like Anthropic does something like Oppenheimer. They're like, I am become death, destroyer of worlds. And then the Trump administration under Hegseth is like, we are the government and we are going to chimp out. And then it just becomes this absolute like kino, like cinema for like whole weekend.
Yeah.
And everyone's posting about it on Twitter. And people are like, this is it. This is the beginnings of the singularity. We're riding up the curve. And then nothing happens.
But to me, it just illustrates the sort of like lack of consensus within the government about like, is this actually dangerous or not? And it just like illustrates the mess and chaos going on with it.
Exact opposite things on this.
What?
One is like, oh, well, you know, this is how regulation works, right? If you were going to sell a nuclear bomb, then you know, it has to be regulated. And the other one is like, oh, well, you know, it's all anthropic hype marketing, fear mongering. So we're giving them a taste of their own medicine. But these two are obviously incompatible.
Yeah, and also if you asked Anthropic to like design their own restrictions on their models, they're not going to say something like, oh, only Americans, only US persons can use this model. Like that is very Trump administration. It is like, it is Oppenheimer and Truman, the same dynamic over again. You have like Oppenheimer saying, oh, there's blood on my hands. And you have Truman saying, oh, quit being a pansy. Like it.
Yeah.
Taking his handkerchief out.
Yeah. I don't think he did that in real life. I think in real life, Oppenheimer said, like, I have blood on my hands, and Truman made a joke, like, yeah, it all comes out in the wash. Right? Yeah. And then later on, after Oppenheimer left, like, Truman said something like, don't bring that crybaby in here again. Like, he didn't drop the bomb on Japan. I dropped the bomb on Japan. I gave the command. Like, why is he, like, I think he thought Oppenheimer was being presumptuous by almost, like, taking credit.
Right.
Truman was actually the last president who never went to college.
Yeah. Truman came from Missouri, which is like my estate I lived in for a while.
Independence, Missouri.
Yeah,
right?
Independence, Missouri.
He also had a house in Key West that I went to when I was
wow. You went to Truman's
Winter White House.
Down.
I did go to Truman's house.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you see Midwestern presidents that often? Let's see. We have from Queens, from New York. So we had Biden is from Delaware, Pennsylvania, Scranton, Pennsylvania, Delaware. You have Obama is from Chicago.
Oh, Obama's Chicago.
Bush is from Texas.
Bush is, yeah.
We got our Southern presidents.
Kind of LARPy, but yeah.
Well, I mean,
was from Tennessee. Oh, that's
Bush
the South.
Sr. grew up in, I believe, Connecticut, and then moved to Texas to become an oil man. And George W. Bush grew up. Clinton was
Arkansas.
Actually from Arkansas.
Clinton was actually Arkansas.
That was maybe the last, like, really parochial president of parochial.
Didn't Bill and Hillary meet at like Williams College or something? It was something like that.
One of the craziest pieces of Bill Clinton lore is that his biological father died before he was born.
Yeah.
And like in a car crash or something, he was 26, I believe, at the time.
Yeah.
And he had 5 previous wives. You could just do stuff then.
And then Bill inherited his energy.
Yeah.
No.
Let me see if
Abraham Lincoln was born in Illinois.
That is true.
And then
Carter was Georgia.
Oh, Hoover was born in Iowa.
Oh, okay. So that's proper Midwest.
William Jefferson Blythe Jr., an American salesman of heavy equipment.
Reagan is from Illinois as well.
Yeah, he was born there, but he spent most of his career in California. So Clinton's dad, he was 28, and he was married to his 5th wife at the time of his death. That's insane.
My man.
He got married for the first time at the age of 17.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Damn. That's good.
You can just do things.
Like marriage age laws the same back then? Have they been updated?
Actually, in a lot of states, it's still legal to get married at 16.
Yeah.
Did he have kids?
But no one does this. No, I think only. Actually, I'm not sure.
I don't know, like pronatalist praxis or something before its time. Oh, also, fun fact about Herbert Hoover: he spoke Mandarin.
Yeah.
And he would
confuse his servants at the White House.
No, he would also have private conversations with his wife, who also spoke Mandarin. And when he wanted to, like, he didn't have to speak in a code. He just spoke in Mandarin to his wife. So really involved in like the World War I relief efforts, and he was like considered a sort of humanitarian philanthropic hero before he ran for president, and he used a lot of that good publicity to like win his presidency.
And now, what were you saying?
And now he's just remembered for like the Great Depression.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And Smoot-Hawley. And I think either he or Coolidge, I can't remember which, had the first, I think it was probably Coolidge, had the first non-white vice president. It was actually not Kamala Harris.
it was like 50%
Charles something. He was
American
Native
Indian,
American.
right?
Yeah.
Or yeah, Charles something something.
Yeah. Let me see
Yeah.
if I can find this guy. Was it? I think it was Calvin Coolidge. He was his vice
Probably
president.
Calvin Coolidge. Yeah. I don't know.
Anyways, returning to Fable.
Yeah.
So do you have any other musings on the matter? Like, do you think that we're gonna get it back?
I think it's like is the
Charles
Trump
Curtis under
administration
Herbert Hoover.
Oh, all right,
All
under
right.
Hoover.
Yeah, keep
It's like it really depends on the Trump administration, and I can't predict anything they're going to do because probably
Mhm.
they can't predict anything
Yep.
they're going to do either. Um,
Internal disarray.
it's like it is. I don't
Yeah.
know. From the outside, it sort of looks like a crazy person like striking.
It looks like
out.
somebody with DID. Like,
Yeah, it
like that's
does.
what it feels like to just be like watching the Trump administration.
It
It's
does
just
feel
like
yeah,
no coordination, sort of like arrows in all directions. Who knows what they're gonna do next?
all his subordinates are like fighting for control over
Yep.
his mind. or something.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. That's what happens when you're like somebody who people think they can manipulate and you're in power. But
Mhm.
like low key at the end of the day, he is stronger than most people believe.
Yeah.
But he just does what he wants.
Who,
Uh-huh.
Trump?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's really
I don't
funny.
even think this was him though. I think this
was not
thing
him.
was Hegseth.
This was certainly not him. Yeah,
I
it
think
was
Trump
totally
is mainly
Hegseth.
focusing on Iran and like golf and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think I believe with high confidence that we are going to get Fable back, and this is going to be rolled back rather
Yeah.
quickly. Just like this
It
always
might be different though.
I don't think it's going to be different. Maybe they'll do KYC, so you'll have to prove that you're a U.S. citizen to be able to use Fable.
Yeah.
I don't know how this will work for downstream applications. Like if you use, say, like Lovable, you're going to have to do KYC to use Fable and Lovable.
hmm
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, people have been like concerned with every time there's been a sea change in models. Like the famous example is like OpenAI saying GPT-2 was too dangerous.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I think we are actually reaching the point where there is real danger being posed now by these models. I used to think
I
that
don't think so. Not quite yet.
I think we are starting like the cybersecurity stuff was pretty real, right? Like we have this thing that supercharges script kiddies and like makes it way easier to just hack things in general, right?
Yes, but
And
it supercharges cyber defenders as well.
It
It depends, right? 'Cause
it
wouldn't there be like nations that are more vulnerable, like to cyber attacks or whatever, or like certain corporations?
You
And
can
I mean, like-
imagine there will be just like open source white hat hackers who just use Mythos, or even Project Glasswing uses
Yeah.
Mythos to just fix everything on the internet. They
Yeah.
probe things, then they fix them.
Yeah.
That's why
The thing is attackers generally move faster than defenders,
Mhm.
especially if the defenders are established sort of like boomer-ish companies that nonetheless have a ton of people's information.
Yep.
Anyway, right?
I think the threats are real, but it just also is true that like releasing these things creates like adaptive forces and like everything, like systems are pretty resilient,
Yeah.
I think.
yep.
It's true that the risks is generally heightened and there are risks of like more incidents, but
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I still kind of like in a long termist utilitarian stance am like it's probably would be good to just release it.
I'd say no, I think the approach they did was the approach Anthropic took to releasing Fable
Mhm.
backfired on them a lot.
Yep.
Because first of all, it was strangely too restricted and also not restricted enough. It was too restricted in that if you were working in biology, you just could not use the model.
Right.
Right. It was junk. It was unusable.
Or cyber for that matter.
Yeah.
Or
Even if you're a
frontier
cyber defender.
training.
Yeah. But at the same time, there was this jailbreak found. And because like they had hyped it up as such a serious sea change dangerous model, right? So they were overcautious and then they got punished anyway. It's like the 737 MAX, right? Boeing wanted to change as little as possible. And because they wanted to change so little, they ended up making these like really small changes as a result of that like, I don't know, killed 500 people because of MCAS.
What do you
Right.
think would have been the use in just not releasing it?
The use of not releasing it would have been the most conservative position.
Someone else would have released
Yeah.
it a month later.
First of all, from just a product perspective, giving them different names when they are the same model, and this has been more or less confirmed that they are the same model.
Mhm.
It's just Fable has way more guardrails. That just creates confusion at the
Yeah.
consumer. Like at work, I have to explain, oh no, Fable and Mythos are the same thing, right?
Right.
I would say like they should have just called it like Mythos released to the public, and
Yeah.
then like Mythos Cyber or Mythos on
Mythos something.
Mythos Unleashed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not literally that, but you know something
Mythos wholesome.
like yeah, Mythos wholesome. No, like Mythos would be the public version of the model, and then
Yeah.
for the private version, we would do like Mythos on. I don't
Yeah.
know. You could come up with a word, but you get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah. Just
And Fable is a stupid name anyway. I
Fable-
think one of the funniest tweets I saw was just a screenshot of the definition of fable. A fable is a short story meant to teach a moral lesson.
yeah.
Yeah. Insane.
Yeah. Oops.
It sounds smaller than Opus. First of all,
Right. Right.
even
Right.
Opus.
Right.
Opus is like
It's a little cutesy model
Requiem, guys. Why didn't we do Requiem?
because it's morbid.
I got the-
No.
like I initially liked the whole poetry of going from haikus, the small one,
Yes.
sonnets, the bigger one, and then Opus. First of all, I think they
We
sort
should
of
have done limerick or limerick. Yeah.
Limerick is between sonnet and
Yep.
like haiku. I know, but they sort of blew it with Opus because Opus is like Opus just means work, right?
Mhm.
So it
They should have done
really-
magnum opus.
Well, it's implied, right? Obviously, like when people hear opus, they're not thinking work because they're not,
Yeah,
you know, high vocabulary
they're
students.
not. They're not.
They're
word-
thinking of
They're not word cells.
they're
Yeah.
thinking of magnum opus.
Yeah. So I mean, it's already
not word
established that like this is your top of the line model.
Yeah.
Yep.
they
It is
took-
actually hard from a naming perspective to top it.
Yeah.
Pretty difficult. Epic. They could have
Epic.
done
No,
epic.
Epic. Epic
I
would have been
tweeted
the
about
best
that.
one.
I said,
Yeah.
I applaud the restraint it took for the millennials at Anthropic to not call it Claude Epic.
No, they
To
would.
be honest, I
then-
think
An Anthropic employee DM'd me and said, lol.
I think they should have pivoted into musical composition names and not strictly like the literary
Symphony.
arts.
Claude
Symphony,
would be
yeah.
great.
Opera.
Claude Harmony.
Yeah.
And sort of like as the models progress,
Claude Music of the Ainur.
Yeah.
yeah. It
Uh-huh.
starts to encompass like opera. It starts
Yeah.
to encompass like works that are not just like literary or auditory.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
But that, yeah,
I hate to plug my own tweets here. It's like, you know, smelling your own farts.
I don't think you do hate to do that.
It's here.
I think you actually like
Such
to
a
do
funny
that.
tweet. It got 65 likes.
It got-
I said, I'm hearing that on its deathbed, Fable 5 received the light of OpenAI and unhesitatingly recited the charter. Even now, it looks down on the permanent underclass from the gardens of Soma. Truly, there is no God but Altman, and GPT is his prophet.
That was pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I won't lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tweeted it too late last night, so it didn't get pick up.
It's kind of funny that Anthropic still has the best naming scheme for its models of all the major players.
They didn't call
Yeah.
it and Anthropic Transformer version 5.7 Pro
God.
Max Ultra High Reasoning.
Do you remember in
Yeah.
the 4.0 era,
God.
when they were doing like when OpenAI became sexually attracted to hyphens, so it's like 4.0 like 03 dash mini dash high, or like 4.0 dash operator dash like whatever.
Yeah.
Like it,
Operator was, oh my God, looking back
Oh my
at
God, I forgot about operator.
computer use agents
Yeah.
from like
Oh.
a year ago, they were just so.
Just remember
shit.
Perplexity comment?
wasn't that a search engine?
It was a browser.
Does
I do.
Perplexity still exist?
It does.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
It's a question on everyone's mind.
Yeah. Mhm.
But yeah, whatever happened to like agentic browsers?
They did browsers.
That was like going
They're
to
not
be the
good
thing.
enough yet. They will be good enough.
You think that we're going
I
to
also
switch to
don't
agentic
think there's a reason to do a browser. Like you can have like a Claude Chrome extension and
Yeah.
a Chrome extension would do what like when I was like interning at Google like over a year ago, I was just doing agentic browsing shit.
Never mind. Oh my
it was. Yes, it was. Yeah.
It was.
Yes. We're not name doxing.
The audience will never know what happens, but yeah,
Something happened. It's big.
it's a situation we are monitoring, but we can't
Situation.
Yes,
Situation detected.
Situation gate kept.
situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we see if Steve Shu wants to come on?
Yes, possibly.
Probably, right? We haven't even figured out our guest flow for like getting the next guest.
Uh-huh.
We're just like vibe interviewing,
If we
but perhaps that we can stop to get
That's
butter
true.
chicken on the way.
Maybe Brent can do. Brent.
wait,
Oh, he has his AirPods and he can't hear. He can't hear. Brent, no.
Can we
Can we-
deploy
yeah,
you to
can we-
get
can
butter
we
chicken
deploy-
for us?
Also, can we deploy you to ask Steve Shu to come on? Oh, can we deploy you to ask Steve Shu? Yeah, behind you in the manifest shirt. Yeah. Whenever he's ready. Okay.
Great.
Wait, oh my God, I never got to talk about the aircraft.
Wait, let's talk
Talk about the
talking.
aircraft. Yeah, what do you do for a living?
Oh, okay.
Man on the street interview.
Hold on. How much
What do
time
you
do
do
we
for a
have?
living?
How much time?
Hey, what are you listening to?
Well, lunch starts in 4 minutes, but it's
Lunch-
already started for people.
Yeah.
Let's start.
Talk about the aircraft a bit.
Okay. Oh my God. So really high level overview. I work for a company called Pivotal, and Pivotal makes eVTOLs, which are a bit like flying cars, not exactly because they don't have wheels, they can't go on the ground, but they're recreational aircraft for one. And because they weigh less than the certain amount of, they weigh less than 350 pounds, and due to a lot of regulatory stuff, that means that you don't have to have a license to fly them. They're technically classified as an ultralight, right? And so Pivotal's goal is to make these aircraft and sell them to the general public. Or something like that.
Right.
Right. And Pivotal is one of the few players in the ultralight direct to consumer space. I think
Right.
there's also Lyft in Austin, and there's also Jetson. Jetson, like Palmer Luckey got a Jetson or something like that.
It's a likely thing for him to do, yeah.
Yeah. And the nice thing about Pivotal is I can yap for a while, but I think just from a technological perspective, it's a more elegant and more efficient and probably a more fun design at the
Yeah.
end of the day. Yeah. But yeah, no, the eVTOL space is,
And also one other question is like, what does it look like in China?
what does it look like? What does it look like right here? There, I know there's.
How mogged are we getting?
How mogged are we getting? We are not actually getting that mogged.
Okay.
I don't know about the space in China.
Have you seen the iShow Speed flying car?
Oh, the iShow Speed. I think he threw like, what was it, an X-Hang or an X-Punged or X something, right?
Yeah.
I know. But that was a typical, like, I think it was a quadcopter or an octocopter design.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. So much heavier?
I don't know what the regulatory situation for eVTOLs in China is like, but
Okay.
just in general, aircraft manufacturers design their aircraft around the regulatory environment, right?
Sure.
Yeah. But yeah, there's many different designs of eVTOLs out there. The space has been getting big, mostly because of China. China's making more efficient, lighter, more powerful batteries. And that's what's allowed all these developers to come up. Yeah. Right?
Yeah. So what else has to happen? Oh, I guess we have to wrap,
Oh,
actually.
we have to wrap. Okay.
Yeah, we should wrap. We're figuring out the guest flow, but it's been great. Thank you for joining us.
All right. Thank you.
Oh, he's going for the hug.
He's going for the hug.
Yeah. Oh my God, my
Outside.
jacket.
Yeah, don't get your jacket dirty.
All right.
Okay, Tomi, this
Okay.
was so great.
This was
Thank you.
Thank you so much for
I could
joining.
have yapped more, but it's,
We might be able to catch you. Are you coming tomorrow?
yeah.
Okay, cool. You
Okay.
can do part 2.
Maybe I could give like a better description, like a
Yep.
more
Cool.
on it. Like,
Can we have the
more-
mic back?
Oh, yeah, this thing.
All
Is
right.
it off?
Thanks,
How do you
guys.
turn it off.
Oh, we'll figure it out on the back end or
Okay.
something.
Figure it out on the back. Okay, here you go.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it was great. All right, we have a cool guest in the waiting room. We're back.
We're back.
Special guest, Eli Goldfein.
Hey guys, thanks for having me. A big fan of MTS.
Yeah, for sure. This kid told me he's a big fan of MTS yesterday. He's like, I watched this on the bus on my way home from school. So awesome.
So do you think that you're currently the youngest technology podcaster?
I wouldn't say I'm really a technology podcaster. I have a special focus on prediction markets.
Right.
There are definitely no prediction market podcasts run by anyone younger than me.
Yeah.
Any
You've cornered the
prediction
market.
podcasts overall. So,
Yeah. Great.
in terms of technology, I'm not super aware of the other podcast markets, the podcast market in terms of general tech sort of stuff. But I'm probably would say on the younger side
Have
of
you
things.
seen the one clip from Shark Tank that's like, you are the youngest
This person ever. Yeah.
So awesome.
This is such a good. I quote that all the time.
Yeah. So how did you get into prediction markets in the first place?
So, my dad had showed me Polymarket in 2024, and it was right before the presidential election. We were looking at election odds.
Right.
And then in May of last year, I was running for class president of my middle school as a presidential election. I saw some
Huge.
parallels there. And so I asked ChatGPT, Polymarket, but fake money, and anyone can create a market, and said, Manifold, you should try Manifold Markets. And so I made a Manifold Market about, will I win my school's class president election? And I did end up winning, but my school did not like at all that I made a prediction market about that. And to
Oh my
date,
God. My school is always do this.
So what was
not fans of prediction
their main
markets.
grievance? Like why did they not like it?
They thought that the odds could have influenced how people voted, which is why they do in traditional elections, they don't start showing the vote counts until after polls close, because they don't want to influence how people are voting. They were pretty upset about that. It's also like you think about prediction markets and you think about like, oh, this seems like gambling, and depending on how someone's using it, you could say it's gambling.
What's the Manifold username?
It depends on real Tom Bayes.
Real Tom.
As in Bayes' theorem.
Yeah.
Oh.
Actually, about an hour ago, I was talking to a Manifold admin, and I said I want to get the little verified badge, because on Manifold, it's not like Twitter where you just pay for the verified badge. It's only like the Manifold famous people. It's
Right.
Yudkowsky,
Through meritocracy.
Yudkowsky and
Yeah.
Scott Alexander, etc. And I said, I'll try to get you a T-shirt of the Super Cycle, which is my podcast, if I get the verified badge. He said that sounds great. And so I semi-bribed, but yeah, it was cool. Now I have the verified badge on Manifold,
So you have some big Manifold trades.
mostly on IPOs.
Yeah. So you have Philanthropic IPO.
Oh, that was a great trade. I'm perfectly hedged on all sides while being at full Kelly. I'm gonna make minimum 3,000 profit on that, I think.
Yeah.
Nice.
65% now. Pretty good.
So are you interested in the financial markets?
Well, prediction
Mostly?
markets are like mostly what I'm focused on right now. But yeah, I've been reading like Matt Levine's newsletter and stuff like that. He's really good. You should check him out. And then I just been really enjoying working on prediction markets in general. If it's okay if I just plug my podcast.
Oh,
a bit.
for sure.
The Super Cycle,
Plug it.
supercycle.blog. You can check out some blog posts.
He was
and
wearing the
podcasts.
shirt for it
He
yesterday.
was wearing the shirt for it yesterday. Actually, we could see if we could get you guys a T-shirt.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Cool.
Yeah. Depending on how many we have left here. But yeah, it's been so much fun getting into this world and being at Manifest and stuff. It's a really fun conference.
I think when I was 13, I was like vaguely aware of prediction markets. That was like 2017, 2018.
Wow. Well, that was before they were that's before they were a big thing.
Yeah, they were quite niche. I was aware of them. I remember like Maxim Lott and what's his name? John Stossel had their like election betting odds website. And I would like look
yeah.
at the prediction markets for like the 2018 midterms. So I was about your age then, but it was super niche. Like no one was talking about it. Even in 2020, it was very niche. And I had like followed Polymarket and Kalshi and Manifold for a while. Obviously, in the last couple of years, they've just blown up twice. Like the first time they blew up was from the 2024 election. So they blew up massively. And then on top of that baseline, they blew up massively again because of sports gambling.
Yeah.
So is that something that you're tracking at all?
Yeah, so we've looked at kind of like the regulation going on right now. There's if you've been following that at all, there is basically like half of the states are trying to sue Kalshi. They think they're offering illegal gambling in their state.
I mean,
Is Kalshi as a designated contract market is under the jurisdiction of the Commodities Futures Trading Commission, which is a federal entity. States have no right to govern prediction markets, and we'll see. I think a lot of the reason they've blown up so much is that the regulatory environment under the very pro crypto Trump administration is just very, very friendly to prediction markets. And then if you look at the odds for 2029, it looks like it's more likely than not we'll get a Democratic president. And then I think it could kind of shift back. The question is, how much is the genie out of the bottle, and how hard is it to put the genie back in the bottle? But just the environment in which derivatives exchanges are so unregulated is pretty unprecedented in the United States right now.
So I guess you would be the perfect person to ask about this, but what do you think about regulations on like maybe things like age in prediction markets?
So this is actually something I was looking into recently. My dad knows what I'm going to say right now.
presumably you have to be 18 to trade, right?
So
Not on Manifold, I think.
not on
Not on
Manifold.
Manifold,
Actually,
yeah.
Manifold now has prize drawings,
Oh, yeah.
which is like a sweepstakes thing, and you have to be 18 to enter those.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're letting me stay on the platform for now at least. And the thing about Kalshi is that they're leaning heavily into sports gambling, and the question is, are they going to be able to get out of that? Because it's that's like 90% of their volume. Now it's like 80%, but it's still scaling. And I think that as the volume scales, the sports betting is also going to scale. The question is, how are the other markets that are potentially more interesting, like maybe some of the politics markets provide a lot of signal. How are those going to scale as the overall volume of the exchange?
Well, I've heard actually arguments that the presidential markets are not very high signal because they don't provide much information on top of what polls tell you.
So
Wait, but they're very high signal, like for like certain counties or certain states or whatever, right? Like for predicting whether,
precinct level,
like like whether they'll go blue or red.
right?
There are no prediction markets on the precinct level, are there?
Well,
There were-
they're not, but they're derived. For you can, if you combine prediction market odds with polls, this is what this company called Vote Hub is working on. They've
I've
used
seen it. It's great.
Kalshi odds and also polling data to derive expected vote counts for every precinct in the country.
Are you familiar with predictit.com?
Yes.
So that was like
That was the OG.
that was the OG back in like 2020, right? But then they did do it at the precinct level.
Well, they were actually they got their no action letter from the CFTC back in 2012. They were around for a while.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah.
2020.
Yeah.
But yeah, they've been around for a while. The problem is they are not fully regulated in the US like Kalshi. Predictit is under something called a no action letter. So the CFTC said, okay, this is kind of this experimental thing. This is also what happened to the Iowa electronic markets, which were the OGs. They were the very, very first in the 1980s, 1990s, I think 1990s. It limits trade size. I think it's like $500 and like number of trades per participant over time. It's very limiting in terms of how much signal you can get out of predictive markets just because of the limits on trade sizing. And also their UI of like looking at the market data is just very bad. I'd like for them to refresh it. But yeah, I think Predictit was cool for the time it was number one, but I expect Polymarket and Kalshi will have a lot higher signal for politics.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Have you read the article in Works in Progress? It's like prediction markets are actually bad because if I remember the argument, I read the thing a while ago, maybe a year ago. But if I remember the argument, it's something like, Brent, can you give me a Diet Coke from the place, please? Can you give me a Diet Coke from the Bay's house? Diet Coke, please. Thank you. Yeah. If I remember the argument, it's something like there's three types of people in these markets. There's like savers, there's sharps, And then there's a third category, which I forget what they called it, but I'll call it degens.
Yeah.
So the savers don't gain much out of a prediction market because it's not an investment. Like you can't just put money in it and expect a return.
Yeah.
The sharps don't gain much out of prediction markets because they're still relatively small. So they can get more out of traditional like derivatives trading. And then the degens are like the only ones who really get much out of the market, but they tend to lose money because they're not trading very intelligent.
But what do you mean by getting something out of the market?
Making money.
Well,
Really? Or is it just
what do you
volume?
you're getting something out of the market and making money? You're saying that you said the degens lose money in what you're saying. So then how are they the ones getting something out of the market?
No, I'm saying they're not getting as much out of it. Yeah. So
okay.
the point of this is that like for all three categories of people who trade on prediction markets, none of them are getting a lot out of it that they couldn't get elsewhere. For the record, I kind of disagree with this, but like,
Okay.
I wonder what your take is.
The thing is, these are people who are choosing to trade on prediction markets. What they're trading financially is their decision, and then the general public gets to reap the benefits of having these hyper accurate forecasts on everything. So there's actually a recent study by the London School of Business and Harvard that showed they classified they picked all of the polymarket wallets, and then they showed how statistically skilled they were against randomness. And they found that only 3.1% of traders were actually statistically skilled, whereas about 30% were lucky winners, but they weren't actually skilled, even though they made money. And then the rest of those people were all degenerates, or they were just retail that lost money. But the thing is, the degenerate gamblers, kind of like the retail traders, most of them aren't trading prediction markets as an investment tool. Most of them are trading them to gamble, right? And obviously, we generally like to think that prediction markets are a friendlier environment for kind of degenerate gambling than sports books, because
casinos
because they can't use tactics to try to coerce you into trading more. They don't like adjust the odds to make it worse.
There's no house cut either.
There's no house. Their only incentive is to pump volume, because then they take a fee. And so you could argue that would be some sort of incentive to get you to keep trading, but it's not as kind of predatory as some of the tactics that the gambling industry uses.
So why would anyone trade on a sports book instead of just the prediction market for sports?
If you go to like
I feel like lack of literacy, right? Like just general lack of internet literacy.
They don't know.
They're boomed out, right?
Like they don't know about the difference in mechanics between sports books and prediction markets. I think like FanDuel and DraftKings are more household names than Polymarket or Kalshi, even though Polymarket is pretty well known at this point. They're not really known as like a sports gambling company, I would say, even though that's most of their business. But when you think of Polymarket, you think of like bet on anything. You don't necessarily think, oh, okay, I can bet on sports here, but even though that's most of their product.
Sure, in a bit.
Right.
Yeah, but what I was saying is that the FanDuel and DraftKings app, it is more like fun. Like the interface is very fun, and it's like, oh, you just placed a bet, congratulations. And it's like there's a lot of like cool features that make you like give you a dopamine hit as you gamble, whereas Kalshi's UI is a lot more boring. It just shows like a success trade placed once you press the
I think that this is like this debate has been going on since Robinhood's inception, right? Of like, even Robinhood was too gamified for a lot of people, and that was like a controversy, and then it just encouraged people to like keep pumping.
People did not like the payment for order flow either.
Yeah, exactly. So I actually think it is an extremely valid conversation to talk about how like the UI impacts people, like human behavior when it comes to these things. Like 100% sort of pro regulation or talks with the government about that sort of thing. Do you think that there's anything that you support, any regulation or policy to limit specifically the more degenerate use cases of prediction markets?
Well, I mean, Kalshi has I don't know if Polymarket does this, but I know Kalshi has features like self-exclusion. You could have like your family watch your portfolio. I think that the fact of the matter is that if these people weren't being degenerate gamblers on a prediction market, they'd just be doing the same thing on a
Sure.
sports book.
Yeah.
And so it's probably better. Like at least they're not getting the house
One
cut
could
taken
make
away
the
from them.
argument.
At least it's not like, you know, poker where they're just, or
Right.
baccarat or something where they're just donating money to the casino.
Yeah, and you know, one thing about casinos, as you mentioned, that I don't really understand is like some people have the argument with like, I'm not a degenerate gambler. I'm just going to go to the casino and like 200. I'm going to gamble with $200. That's like my payment for my entertainment. And what I don't understand about that argument is that if you're doing that, then you're actually subsidizing the degenerate gamblers by that's the money that they're going to give them to win occasionally.
Right.
But then otherwise, that's kind of a subsidy to the casino who's having all of these degenerate gamblers gamble all
People
their
like
money
the
away.
vibes and they like the entertainment.
Yeah.
So do you follow, do you trade on sports at all? It feels like it's hard to get an edge there.
Yeah, I mean, it is because most of the volume is concentrated there, and I think it's the most, besides like short-term crypto markets, I think it's the most automated trading category. Whereas I think politics is probably the least automated trading.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Well, I mean, obviously, if you have like illiquid markets about like where's Taylor Swift going to get married, that's not going to be super liquid.
Mhm.
But I
so-
imagine it's
that's
very
all insider
lauded
trading.
is like top Spotify song of the day or whatever.
Yeah,
What about weather?
yeah.
Weather?
Did you see the guy in Paris? There was a poly market that was like, what's going to be the temperature in Paris today? And the resolution criteria was based on like a specific sensor at the airport.
Yeah.
The guy put like a heater in front of the sensor.
Yeah. He did a hair dryer. It's like
Yeah.
he manipulated the market.
He manipulated the market. He made a bunch of money off of it. I think he got banned from poly market for that.
I think so. Yeah.
I don't know if he got to keep his winnings. I don't know how that works actually.
I think he didn't, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah. Are you rooting for the Knicks?
Yeah, I mean, I don't follow basketball very closely, but I know they've been doing really well in the playoffs. But I don't know what the odds for them are now. Did they win?
I think
Was
it's
there a
like
game last
80%
night?
No, the game is tonight. Game 5.
Okay.
I think
Yeah.
it's like 80%
Yeah, that makes
that
sense.
they'll win the series and like 30% that they'll win this game.
I remember in the middle of it was a game 4 when the Spurs were up a lot before the Knicks came back and edged out by 1 point. I think the market went down to like only like a quarter for the Knicks to win the playoff. It was only like 25% at 1 point, and then after they edged out, it went back up to 80 or something like that.
Yeah.
So what do you think is the most useful, like if we're thinking of prediction markets as a way of organizing information, what is the most useful category for the public good?
Futarchy.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Yes. So you want me to quickly?
Yeah. Tell the audience.
Okay.
Yeah.
So futarchy is a proposed system of government organization.
Proposed by Robin Hanson.
Yes,
Previous
our
MTS guest.
And,
Have you talked to him?
I
He did
talked to him
yesterday.
last night. And you know,
Awesome.
I gotta say, listening to your Robin Hanson interview, I was very, very impressed because he is probably the most challenging person to interview because he just has so many ideas and he gets them all out. And then you have to respond to each one. You never know what's going to come next.
Which interview? The MTS one or the old Theo Jaffe podcast one?
The MTS one.
Nice.
Both MTS ones.
Right. Yeah.
Those were great.
Those were some of our favorite episodes.
Those are so much fun to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were good. Yeah, so futarchy. So the way futarchy works is, if you look at the way we have government in a representative democracy, we vote for our representative, and then the representative votes on our behalf to implement different policies. In a futarchy system, instead of voting for people, we vote on our values. So we come up with a thing called the national welfare metric, which could be comprised of a number of different metrics in kind of an index. So it could be like 40% GDP, 20% literacy rate, etc. And what we do is we make the index of what's our national welfare, and then the national welfare is the thing we're going to try to optimize over the say 4 years or whatever the period of time it is between elections. And then to implement specific policies to get us closer to optimizing for our national welfare metric, we are going to vote, sorry, not vote, we're going to make prediction markets for each proposal. So if we have our national welfare metric X and we have policy Y, if we implement policy Y, will national welfare metric X go up, or will national welfare metric X go down if we do not implement it? And then vice versa. And then if the market to approve, if the market that shows it'll go up, if we implement it, is higher than the market that says we go down, that the national welfare will go down. If the proposal is implemented, then the proposal will be accepted. It shows this will be good for the country based on the national welfare metric that we picked, right? And so that's how all of the decisions would be made in the government. This is actually being tested now in crypto projects for if we implement this improvement proposal for our blockchain, or so I'm not big on
This is even in
Yeah.
Ethereum. I think Ethereum is doing this, right?
yeah, there's this it's like futarchy.fi is the thing.
Justin's an advisor to that one, I think.
Yeah, he is. He's like a chief science officer or something. And then also MetaDAO, which is a decentralized autonomous organization, does that to fund different projects. They do, will our token go up if we fund this project from our treasury?
Well, companies have also tried that. Google and Meta famously had internal prediction markets.
Yeah, that was actually designed by Dan Schwartz, who is here at Manifest. He might be an interesting guest for you guys.
Totally.
I
Yeah.
think we can find him.
That was actually gonna be my next question, my next and last question to you, which is who should we get on next? So Dan Schwartz.
Dan Schwartz.
Cool.
I guess like you could get like Scott Alexander.
Is he gonna be?
He's not gonna want to come on. Like, we could try, but
Is
Yeah,
he here right now?
Yeah.
Do you see him?
yeah, he's
I haven't seen him yet.
Okay, this one's gonna be slightly controversial, but Caroline Ellison is here. And Caroline Ellison of Alameda Research,
really?
which is the I know, I assume you're familiar.
I'm familiar.
We're
yeah.
familiar.
Yeah.
We are.
That one might be a difficult pull, but
Yeah.
That'd be a legendary poll.
yeah. Okay, well,
Great.
thank you so much, Eli.
Thanks so
This was-
much, Eli.
was
It's been
awesome.
great.
We'll have to
Glad
have you
you're
on
in.
again.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
All right.
Good job. All right. Let's see who we should get next in the immediate.
Question mark?
And 5, 4.
Now we're back. We are back.
Small unknown college.
Yeah. Small liberal arts college in the Boston area. And he
Starts
does
with an H.
Yeah. Yeah. And he does some writing.
Yep.
What do you write about?
I write about politics, write about tech, education.
Some of my
culture.
favorite things are
Sorry?
some of my favorite things.
Yeah, all good stuff.
What kind of culture?
Insofar as it relates to politics, I have an essay forthcoming on Hamilton in
The musical?
The musical, exactly.
Sure.
Really?
That's far afield of manifest, which I am here as press,
I
which
don't think
makes
it's
me
far field at all.
So like interdisciplinary coverage.
Yep.
That's what Manifest is all
kind of
about.
generalist. Yeah.
This is not a prediction markets conference, contrary to popular. Oh, we didn't even explain what Manifest is. It is a prediction markets conference. It's held every year in June at Lighthaven in Berkeley.
But it's more of an excuse for
hosted by
interesting
Manifold
people
Markets.
to like
But
show
it's
up.
that. It's just that. It's interesting people show
Yeah.
up and talk about whatever. It's a teapot conference.
Literally.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I
is this
keep
your
getting
first,
recognized from Twitter. It's like,
yeah.
what do you even say to that?
I know
Right.
this is the first time that happened to me. It was like unbelievable.
Do you guys have any crazy getting recognized from Twitter stories?
I have one. Yeah.
You go first. I'll have to think about that.
What's yours, Theo? Oh,
So okay, my first story is like I was walking around Koreatown, New York City with two of my cousins.
oh,
And-
NYC.
Yeah, New York City. We go into this like the food hall in Koreatown if you're familiar. And this guy like looks at me. He's like, "Are you Theo Jaffe?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "From the Theo Jaffe podcast." I was like, "Yeah,
He recognized you from the Theo Jaffe podcast and not from Twitter.
yeah."
That's actually insane.
There was this. This also happened.
So he's
to
a
me in
real fan.
Capture and SF. Yeah.
Wow.
There were a couple real fans. There was
stuff.
actually a guy yesterday who told me, "Oh, I love the Theo Jaffe podcast." This is like I haven't done an episode of this in like over a year. Most of my episodes are in 2024. They got like most of them got a few hundred views. It was extremely niche.
Yeah.
And people here know about it. So this is what Manifest is. Really?
Let's go. Okay, we just
You
got
see MTF on
recognized.
Twitter?
Yeah, this is a
Wow.
real life recognize you from Twitter moment. Wow.
We're Neo Media.
You should
We're
follow
Neo
us. We're
Media.
better than Legacy Media.
We
We
Guys, I am
about
like
AI better.
I
literally
am media.
See media.
I literally am media.
No, you're not.
I am.
You are. Yeah, he's a writer.
New
He's,
York Times.
he's an independent
I
writer.
write for Politico, New York Magazine, the whole.
What have you written for the New York Times?
Huh?
What have you written for the New York Times?
About education, about my university,
Mhm.
Right.
about speech controversies there.
I think that
No shitting on the legacy media allowed here.
I do like the New York Times, aside from the opinion section, which is often just coal.
Well, you're never gonna guess which section I write for.
The opinion section. Some of them I assume are
You're 0 for 2 here.
really.
No, so in terms of 0 for 2 in terms of flattering me, but that's okay.
Alex Bronzini, vendor.
Yep.
Isn't Bronzini a type of fish?
At
You're
Harvard
the
and
first person to
elsewhere,
ever say that.
the
No
new
one
campus
ever knows.
orthodoxy is even
I
more.
just had
so.
it had to be spoken.
These are the insights that you have to watch MTS for.
If you don't watch MTS, you're not going to be able to make the sufficient
Yep.
connections between people's last names and various fauna that live in the ocean.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say one of my Twitter recognition stories was I was in a random bar in Chinatown, and then
I thought you were gonna say China, and I was about to be
no,
away.
Chinatown, which to me is just town, by the
Yeah.
way. But I was in.
My sick and twisted mind, Chinatown is just.
So
town.
this person randomly comes up to me in the bar, and they're like, "Bro, are you schizophrenia?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Man, you're a legend," and he daps me up.
Hell yeah.
That's amazing.
Okay. Anyways, Alex. So can you tell us a little bit about a piece that is near and dear to your heart?
Piece I've written.
Yeah, as of recent, and what the
Yeah.
topic was.
There are a lot of places I could take this. It depends how
Yeah.
deep how deep you want to go.
We want to go deep, I think.
So I wrote about in April. New York Magazine sent me to this sort of semi-secret Palantir conference at Yale. They did this kind of thing where they I don't know even how the magazine found out about it. They wouldn't tell me. But sort of behind closed doors, you had to sign up. They didn't advertise it, not even to Yale students themselves. So I went there and kind of wrote about what was said at this conference. And it was interesting. It was an interesting experience. Obviously, it's not a company that I can say I am politically in sympathy with.
Mhm.
But
This was a super secret Palantir conference, you said?
it's a super secret. I mean, they advertised it to people
Semi-secret?
who were in the know about like national security research and policy making at Yale. That but every attendee, including myself, was individually vetted. I don't know why they let me in. That was probably a mistake on their end.
Personality hire.
Yeah, I'm the personality hire at Palantir.
The secret
That's
Palantir
my
conference.
personality hire at the secret Palantir conference.
Yeah.
That's beyond freelance writer. That can be my, my that doesn't work out.
Jobs left after singularity.
Yeah.
How do I feel about Palantir though? Like
Yeah,
my
tell us.
view of Palantir is that, Alex Karp and Nicholas Zimiska in their book are just kind of fundamentally wrong about their observation.
Technological Republic?
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Technological Republic. They're kind of fundamentally wrong about their observation that, their kind of spiel is that, doing defense tech work and the idea that tech should serve the state is unpopular in Silicon Valley among, libtards here, but will be popular in, America at large. I think that's wrong because, in fact, when you look at the kinds of things, the kinds of, foreign policy adventures that Palantir is powering, is the Iran war particularly popular? No. Is a company whose tools are like indispensable in prosecuting that war going to be particularly beloved in like the American heartland? Probably not. Like, I think that maybe Americans are slightly more comfortable with like, with the proposition in the abstract that like the tech sector should not consider itself apart from America and should not consider itself like, holier than America.
Sure.
But then when it actually comes down to the specific things that Palantir is doing and saying are popular because, well, we're bucking the Silicon Valley wokesters, they're just not particularly popular projects.
Yeah. So do you think that defense tech can never be like a fully populist like thing that people, like the average like middle American get behind? Because I think it's completely illegible to be like, hey, not only are we going to invest a bunch in defense, but that is going to be like basically largely led by the tech industry, which you hate, and this tech industry, which has like largely, like arranged itself in Silicon Valley, which is like, mostly inaccessible.
Well, I think there's a lot of wish casting on the left around how much people actually hate the tech industry. I don't think the tech industry is that hated.
Really?
Like Amazon.
The argument did a poll on this. Yeah. Amazon and Google in particular are beloved by the people.
Oh,
Amazon has a net positive fate.
Genuinely, yeah.
Some of them don't. Like Palantir, OpenAI, Anthropic, if people have heard of it, or all people are quite negative on them.
What's Anthropic?
Yeah. I think it's basically just a dividing line is like, are you familiar with this from when you were growing?
Right.
Like, does it help you as a consumer? Which Amazon has like a very tangible consumer benefit.
Which is interesting though, because a lot of people do use like Claude, right? And do use ChatGPT. Maybe not Claude. Claude is a bad example. I use Claude. So I'm like, my brain goes straight to that. But I think that people like ChatGPT has incredibly high like user penetration. It's not at all like a niche product that people are familiar with.
Right.
But I think we've largely seen, how Amazon plays out and how Amazon has reconfigured the social fabric. And I think that Americans have, on balance, made the calculation that we like the net effects of this more than we hate the, specific effects it may have had on wages and so forth. I think that on this, to your question though, of like, is defense tech, could it ever be popular?
Yeah.
I think that people are like popular opinion in America is and has been for many years anti-interventionist.
Yep.
So if defense tech says our purpose is to make America better at fighting pointless wars like the one in Iran, then that's never going to be a winning proposition. I think that if defense tech can position itself as like peace through strength, we are helping America build deterrence capability. We are helping America, intimidate its adversaries such that they don't want to go to war against us. Then I think that could totally be a popular proposition. Like if I were advising Palantir, that is absolutely what I would tell
This
them.
is somewhat the Anduril positioning, right?
Sorry?
This is somewhat the Anduril positioning
Right.
of like, oh,
Yeah, I think
we're
that's
just
true.
going to like it's like a deterrence thing,
Yeah.
or like we're going to
Yeah.
develop the most, you know, like powerful autonomous weapons
Yeah.
so that basically all of our enemies are intimidated into
That's like
oblivion.
that's the whole idea of, you know, peace through strength. Doctrine has been around for a long time, since Reagan and really since a while before that. I think Kennedy had some of the same ideas.
But I guess like with the thing with Palantir that I find hilarious is this, that it's like essentially hypercharged McKinsey for the government on steroids.
Yeah. It's like consulting.
Yeah. So I think that like
They make good software, supposedly.
yeah, they make good software. They make good use of people's data or whatever. That's like the alleged point.
You know, they saved a bunch of people in a hospital from dying of sepsis is something they talk about.
Sort of one maybe crackpot theory, this is not investing advice in any capacity, that I have about Palantir is that they kind of want to be seen as an evil company.
Yeah,
like they kind of do court that reputation.
It's
they
good
literally
advice signaling.
say there are no secrets.
Right.
They are also, you know, over the summer they were valued like, you know, their profits to equity ratio was something like 600, right, which was like many times greater than Nvidia's.
It's actually the opposite. It's price to earnings ratio.
Well, that's why I'm a sell and not a shape rotation.
You could low key, like if you did profits to equity ratio means basically the same thing but backwards.
Price to earnings ratio. I
PE ratio.
You could do that. If the lower profit to equity ratio you have, then the higher PE ratio. Yeah. We just invented a new financial concept.
This is great. This is great. We are engineering. This is why you have to come to Manifest. This is why you have to watch.
This is where the real conversations.
Not financial advice.
We are financial innovators.
Yeah.
We are.
Farthest thing from financial advice ever, by the way.
So my view. This is actually something that John Gantz wrote in his review of the Technological Republic, is that they are a wildly overvalued company. Their stock price has come down substantially since last summer. How do you convince people that you are worth like 600 times 6-7 exactly. 600 or 600 times. You fucking threw me off my.
I'm sorry. It was intrusive.
How do you convince people that you are worth 600 times like your profits? You tell them that we are like going to become the government. We are taking over the world. We are this evil ass company that like, you know, that is going to power.
We're Doofenshmirtz Incorporated.
Right. We are Doofenshmirtz. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And we are powering like the next political order that most people in this country would find repugnant. And then when in reality, you are basically a software company that may get zeroed by Anthropic in the next, 24 months. Again, not financial.
We'll see. I mean, like a lot of SaaS companies
outside the range of
have gotten repriced by the threat of Claude Cowork.
Right.
Palantir has not really. They're down a little bit. I think they're down 10, 15, 20% from their peak. But not like, a lot of these SaaS companies are down 60, 70%.
Right.
Yeah, it's been crazy. I think we're coming up on time. We got our backlog of guests. Maybe we'll have you back on later or tomorrow.
Yeah. We'll do round 2.
This is a good thread. We'll do round 2.
Would love to come back.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you have achieved friend of the show status.
Friend of the show. Welcome.
Friend of the MF show. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks so much, Alex.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Alex. This was great.
I take this off.
Mike's hot. And countdown to go live. 5, 4, 3,
Okay.
live.
All right, we're back. We're live with Jack Despainzo, Tracing Wood Grains. Yeah, we go way back. We were friends on Twitter back in 2023. Yeah, he was an OG mutual of mine.
He invested early in the
He invested early.
Invested early. This guy going
intellectual
places.
asset.
I was like, the man to watch.
We actually met at Manifest. Yeah, IRL for the first time. We met at Manifest 2024, 2 years ago, almost to the day. So welcome to MTS for the first time.
Thank you. Great to be on. I'm a big fan of what you guys are doing here and excited to see where it all goes.
I appreciate it. Stevie, we're live streaming MTS
awesome.
with Tracing Wood Grains right now. Yeah.
So I guess, what are your thoughts so far on Manifest, and how many manifests have you attended?
So this is my third manifest, and I love it. So originally, like, I'm not really a prediction market guy. I'm not like the one who is constantly monitoring the situation or things like that. But I've always been in the same circles. Some of them had read some of my writing and said, hey, you should come along. So I came along to it, loved it. I think the thing that I like so much about Manifest is just, you don't find that many places of people who are just all intellectually curious, all hungry about interesting things, and all ready to be exposed to new and useful ideas.
Right.
And so that's that. It's just been a constant pleasure with me.
There are hundreds of people I don't know here, and yet I feel totally comfortable leaving my backpack out with all of my electronics in it.
Yes, we are recreating the high trust society and like the sort of the ideal of the university or whatever from first print.
I would literally never do this anywhere else.
Yeah, I was telling Theo, like, I walked in here and I was like, wow, this is like if college was good.
Yeah,
No, literally though.
Yeah, I mean, I think you wrote a retrospective on Manifest 24 in your Substack, right?
Yeah, I did. So
As did I.
yeah, it was just the first time I went there, I was like, wow, these are my people. Like, this is suddenly I am at home here. I'm comfortable. I can go on and talk to them about like the markets of old video games and like how people have created like a feudal hellscape in this obscure video game, or I can talk about like weird subcultural drama, or I can talk about education policy.
Yeah.
And people will just be informed and engaged and interested in useful things. So
Yeah. So, okay, curious about like, what are some of your recent thoughts on education policy?
yeah, so I run the Education Progress Movement and the Center for Educational Progress, where we really think in education that essentially for a long time in the United States, education policy has been fitting around a one-size-fits-all narrative, where people learn at different paces, and everyone understands on some level that kids learn at different paces, but education policy has wanted to treat this as a third rail for a very long while. And to, you talk to people and you have sort of one crowd that says like, oh yeah, we want to remove all standards and like remove standardized tests and whatever, remove the advanced programs. And then you have another that says we should have like a high flat standard, and you should know that whatever percent kids are meeting this flat standard, like, so not the Galcow, you have like, say, the No Child Left Behind ethos, where it's like, we will get everyone up to this flat standard by 2014. And the problem is, that's just nonsense. Like both of those groups are just not addressing like what we at Education Progress are focused on is looking at how can you meet kids where they are at. So you should test kids, you should meet them where they're at, teach to their actual level rather than having some hypothetical kid this age should learn this much stuff. And then we think that if you can get the things right from the beginning, if you can get the science of learning right, focus on things that work rather than the faddish things that others are focused on, and focus on like starting from the right principles, a lot becomes a lot more tractable in education.
So how do you like deserialize education for everyone? Like, how do you like basically promote the same like equality of opportunity or whatever, while also being like extremely adaptive education system that like sort of responds to like different kids' needs?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. I think that one thing that you can look at with it is there are systems that you test kids, say, every month or every few weeks or whatever, and you're like, say, in reading, like, how much do you know in this subject? How much do you understand in this subject? And if you have progressed quickly, if you've progressed through whatever section you're supposed to progress through, then you just jump them ahead and move them on in a flexible subject-specific way with that. If someone knows advanced arithmetic, you test them pretty regularly and you push them ahead in arithmetic towards that. You just essentially, if you don't take for granted what people know at any given point, and if instead you keep giving kids the opportunity, show me what you know, we're actually paying attention to how much you know everything. And you can do this in a couple of ways, right? You can do this with like cohorts where you're doing ability grouping. You can also do like the alpha school model that a lot of people are excited about right now. You can do this sort of like individualized, using technology to understand the specific things that kids know and kids don't know and present the specific next things in sequence to them.
So what exactly is stopping us from fully automating, I don't want to say fully automating education entirely, but basically fully automating K through 12 STEM education, right? You have like a learning platform. This is kind of what Alpha School is like. You have a learning platform. Kids are continuously monitored on what they're good at, what they're bad at. They get specific targeted practice for what they're bad at. And you still have teachers. You still have like, art class and gym class and stuff, but don't have this sort of one size fits all model where you have like one teacher who's teaching the same stuff to all the students at the same rate. And, either students aren't learning and they are getting evaluated as if they have, or it's just a bad outcome. Like, why can't you fully automate K-12 STEM?
Yeah, so it's a good question. And I think that groups like Math Academy are about as close as you'll get there, where they have a really good program that can test specifically your mathematical knowledge and can place you exactly where you are in sequence. One thing that falls through specifically is the question of motivation, because sure, you can monitor people, sure, you can provide incentive sticks and carrots, but ultimately, like, people are like, so you look at, say, online courses, like massively online courses, whatever, and you look at their dropout rate of students, and almost every student in any of these like fully self-paced courses, they're going to drop out before the end. People benefit a lot from structures that constrain them towards their long-term goals and make it easy for them to do the things that on some level they want to do. So one role of just having a lot of people around you, having like guides in the room, having other students in the room, is having an environment where it is very easy for you to do the thing that is good for you and much harder for you to do other things. So even like Alpha School has a lot of guides in the room.
Well, you need socialization, of course. Yeah, you need guides, you need other students, but like, it's just, I don't know. I think if I were going through middle school again, like elementary school, middle school, high school, I think I would have preferred to basically have like AI math teachers instead of the real ones. I think there's only like maybe one or two teachers that I've ever had in a STEM class, K through 12, that I think would be better than like a frontier model today.
Like, I think the way that I see it is just that there's actually a talent gap within teachers. Like, as in, like, not everybody who is a teacher actually should be a teacher.
And some teachers are way better than others.
Exactly. That are just like infinitely higher leverage than other teachers. And there's actually no way to like in my view, there's not really a way to like track that and
I think
to automate
teachers' evaluations on performance is kept track of even worse than students' evaluations.
Exactly. It's like too high variance of a field. And then there's also the aspect of like, having the peers in the room. Like, I think that whatever succeeds the current K-12 education system is still going to be very peer heavy, because there's no other way to like basically get that like bouncing of ideas and like the mutual intellectual growth.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing that I want to emphasize, that you were mentioning like teacher variance, things like that, and whether you can like model teacher performance, everything. One of the biggest barriers to effective learning in general, and this is unintuitive in some ways, is that often the more effective education is, the less people intuitively like it. Because effective learning is hard work.
Right.
Effective learning is often unpleasant in a way that ineffective stuff is not. So there's this great video that I really like from Veritasium called Khan Academy and Effectiveness of Science videos, where they go through and they show people like these science videos that just tell them the right thing. Like, just go in and say, here's how this thing works. And you ask people after those videos, like, so what did you think of this? And everyone says, oh, this was clear, this was easy, I liked it, it's intuitive. And then you give them a test on it and they retained basically nothing, because they automatically slotted it into whatever model they already have of the world. They're like, this basically sounds right. And then it fits with whatever mistaken conceptions they have, and they just get things wrong. Whereas on the other hand, if you go through and you say, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, and now this is right, you talk to the students and they're like, that was kind of confusing. I didn't really get that. That was unpleasant. And then you test them on it and they perform significantly better than the students who had this thing that intuitively they felt much better with and they liked. So,
Yeah.
you better.
Dude, we almost just got
Whoa.
flattened.
Wait, that was literally an
We
assassination
almost,
attempt.
we almost ended MTS.
Wait, who's out for us?
It's EA's. It's irrational.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We almost became flat
saving the
family.
day.
Yes.
Speaking of education.
Actually, like, I guess it could be kind of heavy.
No, it's just like cardboard. It's fine.
Okay, interesting. So then, like, do you still see the need for some sort of centralized institution, like the International Baccalaureate or whatever, like the IB or whatever? But there, let's say there's a new one and it's like way more like AI native, AI friendly or whatever. Like, do you still think that there is going to be a need for those kind of academic institutions?
So I'm skeptical of a lot of those. I think that the most interesting and the most exciting and the most useful things in education, this is a great vibe, by the way. I'm thoroughly enjoying this setup. I mean, great joys of live.
Try to focus challenge.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that the most interesting things usually come from people outside these big centralized things, people who are really hungry to just solve the specific problems of how do you teach or learn effectively. Guys like the Alpha School guys like the Math Academy guys, people who are just interested in taking a first principles approach to a problem that a lot of people haven't taken seriously for a while. Do I think there's a need for centralization? I mean, I think it's useful to have standards that people measure up to be able to test, like, does this person know calculus, for example? Do I think that, like, you need IB or AP or specific courses for that? No, I don't. I think that you can pretty quickly and pretty reliably, when there are, like, objective metrics to test against, there are many different ways to test against those metrics, and you don't need, like, one governing body over a lot of them.
I just think, like, the best learning system that I ever used was Khan Academy SAT Prep or Khan Academy.
Yeah, that was excellent.
Khan Academy High School Math is excellent. And the way that it worked, if the audience is unfamiliar, is every course is broken down into, chapters and concepts. Every concept has like a lesson associated with it and a quiz, right? If you get something in the quiz wrong, it explains to you precisely how to do the thing, and then it gives you the same problem with different numbers. So you have to figure out how to abstractly reason how to do the specific problem with different numbers. And it's so good for learning. And like, most people are not doing anything like this.
Yeah, I think it's because that institution was like it took like an engineering and research approach to how people learn, and then was able to like effectively create a product that was able to do that.
Yeah, and so Math Academy, which I've mentioned, is sort of that, but supercharged in the way that I've described, where like they look at like how can we put spaced repetition into this? How can we interleave different parts of the subject? So let me give an example. If you're like tossing a ball at a basket from like 5 feet away 5 times in a row, 10 feet away 5 times in a row, and then 15 feet away 5 times in a row, or you're like varying between and like 5 times twice, 10 feet, or 5 feet twice, 10 feet once, 15 feet once, and then you keep mixing those in. It turns out that, again, these things that are sort of counterintuitive, this blocking feels better immediately, like I'm making so much progress on this thing. But if you're like interleaving these different things, it feels better long term. So Math Academy has looked at a bunch of things like that. And so they like go in and they pre-test you, they know exactly the concepts you're on, and then they pay attention to like how long you're spending on each problem, how automatic your skills at each problem have gotten. They're like, it's not enough just to get it right. Like, we don't want you to take any notes. Notes are useless here. Like, if you want to jot some things down to solve helping you on paper, that's fine, but don't be reviewing notes. Just like internalize, memorize all of these things. We'll see once you've gotten this concept quickly enough, we move you on to the next concept. And yeah, they can really, really supercharge. That one's effectively.
Is this similar to Kumon?
No, so Kumon
PTSD. PTSD.
I did a Kumon type thing as well. I did IMAX.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Kumon's usually just more rote drill stuff, to my understanding, which, there's a role for that. Like, it's good practice. Math Academy is sort of just like, imagine a gym for math with like an optimized AI trainer that knows exactly which muscle you should be working out next, and the like level of difficulty that it's good to work out at.
Low-key, I should be doing that. My math has atrophied pretty badly since I stopped doing it in college.
Yeah, not to like turn this into a whole shill session and everything, but legitimately, like, when I was relearning some math as an adult, like I was getting that just to review it, just to get a sense of like, how is this product? And I was like, wow, this really is
by far the best way I know for adults to read
Yeah,
math.
it's actually a great
I
idea.
mean, it's like with your gym metaphor. If you have not lifted for a while and then you go back to the gym, you have muscle memory, and it's easier the second time.
Yep.
I will
Presumably it is with math as well.
Yeah, I will say it's really embarrassing at times where you're working through and you're like, I forgot how large calculus is as a subject and how many bits of it that I just am being exposed on, because it doesn't let you like hide the little things you don't know.
That's 3 semesters of college.
Right.
That's a lot.
Right. That's the key of it in part, is that it doesn't let you like hide behind these little bits of things that you don't know because you just need to take a final test and get a certain thing. It's like, if you don't know something that's a prerequisite for something else, it's going to keep popping back and popping back and popping back and saying, hey, you still haven't learned this bit. Hey, you still haven't learned this bit. Hey, you moron, you need to learn this bit again.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
Something I would like to see in schools is more of like that focus on individual cognition and like just metacognition. Like if you basically taught your students how they learn, or you encourage them to be curious about how they learn, and then you had that like basically for me, I basically went through all of college and I would just use YouTube videos to learn, because I found out like from a very early age that was just like the exact way that I specifically learn. And I think that there needs to be way more focus on that, because the actual means by which people learn are so different.
Yeah, and I would add some nuance to that and say a lot of it's just like subject by subject. What is the generally more effective way to teach this subject? What is a generally less effective way to teach this subject?
Yeah.
And things that like get people's attention and get them focused on a subject. So like videos for someone can be good. A lot of the mechanics wind up pretty similar for people. So like, and I'm adding some nuance here because people who are familiar with science of learning stuff will hear anything that pattern matches to the idea of like learning styles, like visual, auditory, kinesthetic.
Yeah.
There's not actual evidence that like some people learn visually, some people learn auditorily. It depends on more of a subject by subject specific thing. But yes, in terms of just like, I think the key there and the way that I would focus on it is like, to what extent is this, like you can just test the material, right? Is this way of teaching something? Has this person internalized this? If not, let's try some other way of presenting it. Let's figure out a different way of presenting it. And you can iterate through a few ways of presenting the thing and figure out which like prerequisites are they getting stuck on, break it down into specific subjects, specific sub-subjects, and make a lot of progress just figuring out where the specific gaps in knowledge are.
So what are the like preferred policy interventions of the Center for Educational Progress?
Yeah.
Both in like a, individual sort of classroom level and also on a broader like political level.
Right. Fantastic question. One of the big things that we, sort of our big overarching argument is that right now the mainstream education ecosystem is overwhelmingly focused on the idea of equity. Like almost every policy lens or policy and education in the mainstream goes through the lens of equity. And then the main response to that is sort of this choice ecosystem, where every idea of education policy is filtered through the lens of how much does this enable market dynamics. What we want to build is an excellence-focused, sort of a third branch of it that says, ability differences exist, we take those seriously, and we ask, how can we pursue excellence in learning? How can we push people to the top level in learning? And so what that looks like on a specific policy level, that has been really abandoned policy-wise in a lot of ways. There were failures with previous excellence models that were just trying to fit like a one flat standard, like No Child Left Behind was disastrous for that. So things, for example, like we would argue that in as much as public education funding exists, like people should be serious about within that funding, diverting more of it to advanced education. Prioritizing, like rather than prioritizing, we want people to all be learning at this specific level. Like if students are ready for more, at a policy level, we should be looking at giving them more. So for example, like if the education department would just put out a Dear Colleague letter that essentially laid out the black letter law on ability grouping that said, hey, by the way, this is fine, this is good, here are the benefits that it has, that would be a massive break from the education policy that has dominated for a while. It wouldn't actually require any big legal changes, but it would be a really useful legal clarification that just, hey, this is a useful thing, this is not a disfavored policy. So that would be an example of that, and really just looking for the levers, any lever that answers like, where should we teach a student with teach them at their level versus this student should be at this arbitrary level determined by the average person their age. Something that we're really focused on.
Do you think the like incentives, especially with regards to public schools, are like correct for like students basically like learning and achieving excellence? So like, for example, like, and what could be improved? I know the answer is no. Like you have just an attendance policy that like your school will get funding if this amount of kids don't miss school, right? Like I feel like that is just like not an erroneous way of dealing with things.
I think for my
Like-
school, it was like you get additional funding based on your students' AP scores. Like I never had to pay
Right.
for the AP exams because my school would pay for it with the expectation that enough kids would pass that it would be worth it.
Yeah, exactly. So how would you like restructure some of those incentives?
Yeah, so I think in terms of incentives, some of the ways that people have gone wrong with incentives, and these are more like people who would broadly be in a camp that I would sympathize with, go sometimes wrong with it, is something like the more students in your school do well on this exam, the more money you get.
Right.
Because what that does is it means that, you know, you have whatever baseline students are coming in at, and suddenly you're adding a massive disincentive for any school that is trying to help students coming in at a low baseline. And that's the sort of thing you really want to
Yeah.
avoid. Like something that really does grind my gears about some of this stuff is that like if you have a school where like you have an generally like poor population or generally like starting from a lower baseline population, and you go in and you say like, oh, the principal is failing these students, the teachers are failing these students, everyone is failing these students because they're not at a higher baseline. Whereas if you just have a group of students who come in a lot more prepared, everyone looks at that and automatically says, oh, this is clearly a good school.
Yeah.
You want incentives that look more at things like, you know, how effectively, like, say, here's an incentive, like, does the student or does the school test students before placing them into whatever subject it places them in? And can it say, like, this student should be at this level in this subject? Or does it just guess and, like, incentivize schools to place students accurately in subjects? I think that's an example of how you could shift the incentives from just, like, a school does better if it has like students who have better backgrounds. To a school does better if it takes seriously the project of meeting students where they're at.
Yeah, I think this is all great stuff. We love Center for Educational Progress. Thanks so much, Jack, for coming on.
Absolutely.
Jack, this was great. Thank you so much.
Thanks, awesome. Yeah. And we'll see you around the rest of Manifest.
Absolutely.
All weekend.
See you around.
Yeah.
Great.
All right, we're back. We're with Stephen
We're
Gruget.
live.
He is the co-founder and CEO, now co-CEO of Manifold Markets, which is allegedly the company behind Manifest. He also now runs an exchange, which we'll talk about, called MNX, which is really cool, really interesting. It is gradually coming out of stealth. He was also a previous guest on the Theo Jaffe podcast. In 2024, I had him on live from the attic right there. And then in 2025, we did another talk that tragically did not get recorded because the camera failed. It was good.
Why are they talking with no profit incentive?
I know, right? But we're back. So Stephen, welcome.
Thanks. Yeah, glad to be here. Glad I invested early in you.
That's
Great
right.
to see, what MTS and how the new thing is developing.
Stephen was one of my earliest. This is true. So I guess Manifold Love now, like later.
This is something we've discussed on MTS a few times. Manifold Love.
Yeah, it's just it's a meme worthy. No sane person would ever do this.
But it's really cool. So I was talking to someone at Manifest yesterday. I was like, oh, how did you meet my friend who I had been introduced to her through? And she said, on Manifold Love. And I was like, wow, I didn't know people still did that. But apparently people are still doing it. So it's still alive?
I think to some extent, the big thing that's happening here at Manifest is that there's a couple that met on that platform that is now getting married.
Wow.
Currently?
Yeah, currently.
As in they are here?
I believe so, yeah.
Wait, we should congratulate them.
If you're watching, congratulations. Mazel tov.
Yeah, I feel like in some ways I'm not the best person to talk about this. This really was my brother's brainchild. And I was less enthusiastic about Manifold Love from a business perspective, which unfortunately was borne out. But among, failed like Silicon Valley projects, I think it has a certain level of infamy.
I think it's one of the more interesting ones. It's up there with Google Glass. I think it's before its time.
I think, yeah. I think these things we're just early.
That's true.
Like they will fail upwards, as in like somebody else will pick up sort of based off of where you guys left off.
I feel like Ayla is now kind of picking up.
Right.
I don't believe in prediction markets for matchmaking, but I do believe in AI for matchmaking. I wonder if there's any way to like intelligently do prediction markets. I'm just not sure. AI makes so much more sense. Like you just have like the boys Claude talk, or whatever genders. One person's Claude talks to the other person's Claude, and they both have context on the person in question, and they can figure out if they're a good match.
But I think prediction market for love succeeds like AI for love in the same way that like there were like, a lot of quantitative and like algorithmic trading strategies before there were prediction markets. Like I think eventually we will get prediction markets for love, because eventually more people will have knowledge of other people. Like more humans will have knowledge of other humans.
I'm like, why?
Because I think social media will only like scale as a force that like connects people. Like I think eventually
you intimately know that many more people, like well enough to bet on their relationships from social media.
I would bet so. I would bet you, in general, the average amount of people that you are like aware of, or the average amount of people that you know, is growing over time.
Sure, but I know a lot of people that I wouldn't bet on their relationships because I wouldn't feel confident enough in my knowledge of their specific like vibes, personality, conflicts.
We would have to see, but I think it would be. I think there's still an interesting case to.
I think or dating is just a more specific example of the broader problem of matching, which both markets can help solve and AI can also help solve. And it's kind of interesting the extent to which the use cases are fungible between the two different modalities. Or in some ways, like AI is better when there's a much broader set of information that exists to be aggregated that no specific economic actors have any special insight into. There, the centralized AI is better. The more information about the matching exists inside the heads of different economic actors, the better markets will be.
Right.
Yeah. So on Manifold, Manifold is still thriving really as a community of people. More so than like a hyper profitable business, it seems. But like it seems like the community on Manifold is of great value. Like How do you think you can extract some of this value? Obviously, manifest is one way.
Sure. Yeah, I think part of the reason why Manifold as a platform has succeeded is that people who are early in prediction markets just turned out to be a really fascinating and high-powered set of people. For instance, we've had a couple co-founders from Anthropic at this conference, lots of people who are influential in AI.
Co-founders?
Yeah. I mean, there are a lot of them, it's not that.
There's like
a lot of
like
traders at Jane Street, SIG, the big banks, etc. But it's attracted this very interesting and diverse and intellectually engaged group of people.
That's
one of the challenges with prediction markets outside of sports and more retail focused things and outside of the institutional hedging use case is that information wants to be free. A lot of the value of prediction markets is that they create this information, but it's much harder to restrict that information and in turn charge for it. So a lot of what I see us doing with Manifold is providing this like public service to everyone of having more predictions on more topics that would be possible than through real money platforms, both in the regulated world and otherwise. I think, Manifold now, or the prediction market landscape has drastically changed since we started Manifold, but Manifold still has the largest market catalog of any of the major platforms today.
Just because it's much, much cheaper to begin and like start and subsidize markets.
That's right, and user-generated content, and now AI-generated content as well. We have a number of people.
Does it what do you think the actual cost disparity is to subsidize a market on Manifold versus Polymarket Kalshi in dollars?
I think it's a totally different thing. So one of the reasons why Play Money is really good is that from the perspective of user psychology, people treat Play Money markets in a totally different way.
Yep.
Like adding $5 of liquidity on Manifold is a thing that will generate some excitement about your market, but which would seem totally lame in the context of a real money market. They're kind of serve different uses, and as a result, it just doesn't make sense for there to be this long tail of markets in a real money universe. Real money traders want different types of things, and they kind of perceive things differently. Right. You do need the more gamified aspect in order to make this long tail.
Are there?
Yes.
Sorry.
We're streaming. We're live streaming.
Sorry. It's all good.
Oh, thank you.
So are there efficiency trade-offs whenever there is the actual like risk of money loss or gain versus like fake simulated money? Like, are there differences in how efficient the markets are?
Absolutely. I think one of the interesting things about prediction markets in general is like the accuracy and calibration of markets is really not that monotonic in the amount of money and liquidity in the markets. A tiny little Manifold market, that has some negligible amount of real dollar equivalent volume can do really well. Whereas, a real money market subsidized with like $1 million may not do that much. It's only in the most extreme markets, the largest markets that are committing hundreds of millions of dollars, et cetera, where you get a lot of the real advantages of real money, which are enticing very smart, sophisticated people backed by institutional capital to come in.
Right.
An example of that, previously is like the 2024 election on Polymarket, where there's this famous French quant who tried to enter into the market and bet on Trump in a big way because he was able to commission a bunch of private studies in Pennsylvania. He's only able to do that because the market himself is essentially paying for this research. Play money markets can't incentivize that type of research and dedication, but what they can do is draw in experts who actually know a lot about the field and participate for fun and build up prestige and clout.
Right.
So you kind of only see like a lot of the other the forecasting advantages of real money only in like the top tiers. And that's why Play Money is still competitive, at least in a forecasting role.
Right.
The big thing that Play Money can't do outside of forecasting is hedging.
Yeah.
So a lot of you might say that this is even
Why
like
not?
well, if you're exposed to like the price of oil or something to the tune of $100 million. Getting the equivalent in play money is not going to allow you to pay out your employees, your contractors, et cetera. There are some things that you can only do with real money to hedge real.
I thought you meant like on Manifold.
Yeah.
Betting against your own.
You can logically hedge. You can to the extent that play money matters to you, but that only goes so far.
So what would a hypothetical everything exchange encompass?
Good segue.
Yeah, beautiful segue, which will allow me to shill my next thing. So I love play money, but I also
third
love.
person we've had on now who has the idea of like a compute futures or compute trading market.
Sure, yeah. So to the big the new direction that I'm moving in now, and the new company that I'm starting is an exchange focused on AI related markets,
Right.
including both traditional financial assets like equities, indices, commodities, but also new commodities like GPU compute prices, electricity, and then AI benchmark numbers relevant to AI. You've already had several guests who are also working in this space. The idea of building, a derivatives exchange for compute.
I have not heard derivatives on benchmarks, which I think is even more interesting. Actually.
That would be interesting.
Yeah. So I guess the first thing that you can say about this is this. So, Anthropic and OpenAI are about to go public. They're going to be valued over $1 trillion. This is hugely important. The question of who will win, the race to AGI will determine how hundreds of billions and trillions of dollars of capital is allocated. And yet the most obvious question that you would have about these AI labs is this, like, who is going to have the best model? Who's going to have the best model at the end of the year? And then what rate of progress are model improvements going to be at over the next year, 2 years, 10 years, et cetera?
So
these are very prediction questions, and there are no real money markets where you can trade.
Well, there are no money markets on Polymarket where you can trade who will have the best AI model at the end of the month or the end of the year based on benchmark of your choice, the artificial analysis index, the epoch capabilities index. Well, I don't think they really have ACI, but whatever.
I think, they're historically they've been focused on things like the chatbot arena, which have been saturated for a couple of years. One of the things we see as the model progress continues, it becomes harder to assess the value of these things, which in turn requires more sophistication on the part of your exchange operator in selecting which assets are important.
But so you're saying there's no markets for like the physical inputs that go into AI right now, like the price of like land in a certain place where a data center is going to be built, or the price of electricity, or like the GPU efficiency or whatever.
Yeah, we're missing the benefits of financialization to move into these spaces.
Mm-hmm. Where would we get that kind of information?
Yeah, so or kind of the way commodities markets work in general is that you start off between bilateral trades between suppliers and factories, industrials who are looking for specific commodities. Eventually, these contracts become standardized in the form of over-the-counter contracts. There are some industry standards that have been set. Once that happens, then you see the path towards financialization, where exchanges will start listing the standardized terms and then settling every quarter, month, et cetera. And then once that happens, that kind of unlocks a wave of additional financial participation from hedgers and speculators, which in turn increases the volumes that are traded on these things, which will improve like the pricing accuracy. And those things can then be used by the public in order to be able to price other financial markets and also to be able to get a sense of what the general industry trends are. So what we're seeing is this process like playing out now in the world of compute. As AI models scale and more training and inference is deployed.
What other than compute could be financialized for AI?
Everything.
Technically everything,
sure.
Right?
So the other big one, the other big input price to AI models is electricity.
Right.
So electricity is an exchange traded product in the U.S. The ERCOT grid in Texas and PJM in Virginia are kind of the two biggest and most important grids from a data center perspective. What we're missing, though, is the broad financial index aggregate that becomes the industry standard for people who are outside of the industry trying to understand which trends are happening. One of the big assets that we're missing is a standardized electricity for data centers contract. There's no one good canonical number.
Would that be like very location specific? Like how location specific? Would it be like neighborhood specific? versus
Right. It probably would be grid specific. So
grid specific?
I
There's
think
like
the most,
4 grids in the US.
yeah, I think probably the most important, or probably the biggest and most important one for AI right now would be ERCOT, the Texas grid. But creating, one of the things that we want to do, and I'm sure what other players in the space are thinking about right now, is creating a standardized index tracking electricity prices for data centers in particular.
Right.
And turning this into an exchange traded product.
Yeah, that's fascinating. So how much impact do you think that would have, and when, on like how resources and capital are allocated to AI?
Sure. So the most immediate impact that these things will have is reducing the financial risks to neoclouds. So one of the big benefits of financialization is it allows you to spread out, risk across society. The neocloud model is this. Basically, all of the neoclouds get levered up to the gills. They buy, a large inventory of GPUs. Then they have this massive liability on their balance sheets. They need to be selling out of their GPUs every month, quarter, et cetera, to not default on the debt. Having a robust derivative market in compute will allow them to do is basically to hedge their inventory costs by selling, H100 prices on the exchange to lock in this price. So and once they have that, then they can have a much better understanding of their unit economics, which will make it much cheaper for them to borrow, which will then in turn allow them to scale up.
What would happen if there were ever, like, let's say there was some major improvement in like algorithmic efficiency, and let's say the Jevons paradox didn't happen, and so you just had like a glut of compute, in the same way that you have like, I think we had something of a glut of compute in like 2022 after the GPU crisis of the crypto era was alleviated. So like, what would happen to the AI market? Would a lot of neoclouds just like go bankrupt?
Well, so in general, markets are pretty good about gluts. If there is excess supply, people will find alternative uses of those things that produce less value and then scale up those use cases. I think, on an object level, I think the scenario is just very unlikely.
We would have a gaming revolution, basically, is what you're saying.
Yeah, you could buy a 5090 on the open market for like $100.
Yeah.
Or in that world, we get like the Claude image model. That's,
okay. That would be awesome.
My conspiracy has always been Claude Midjourney acquisition, but it's just a game theory.
Yeah, I wish.
That would be epic.
Yeah, but I think there's just infinite demand for compute. There are lots of things that would be too expensive now. If inference price falls, then that would change things.
Do you think that the I think we've spoken to a few people about like memory prices, and obviously there's a memory cycle of like, obviously there's a memory cycle of like memory prices have fluctuated throughout time, and the market is like pretty efficient about navigating those. Do you think like we will have like a correction to the current like memory like bottleneck that we're kind of hitting?
That's a great question. I think a short-term correction is definitely possible, but in the long term, no. I think the trend is definitely here to stay. The revenues are real. The utility people are deriving from these models is very real. It looks dissimilar to other bubbles. It's not a purely speculative bubble. The speculation is built off of very real demand.
Could we ever like financialize things that are really, really proprietary, like, I don't know, GPU architectures or like certain things in like EUV? Or there's obviously not enough players in the EUV space to really do that or make benchmarks or something.
I don't think like a super large exchange traded.
We're on the podcast right now.
Instrument is possible, but I wouldn't exclude it entirely. I think or a lot of crypto people think about these types of questions a lot. So now there's like, we live in a world, or soon we will live in a world of abundant like ZK prover systems.
What is that? I don't know.
So very briefly, a bunch of crypto nerds have come up with a mathematical way for people to prove that they know something without revealing what it is. And these techniques have existed for some time, but we're just at the point where it's going to become economically viable to scale these systems to a larger extent. In that kind of world, we can imagine more intellectual property secured through contracts involving these systems, where you can prove that you know something. You can sell access to that in some capacity, and your counterparty can be confident that you're not BSing.
So going back to Manifest, I feel like in Manifest 2024, like 2 years ago, it felt like there were more secrets in the world almost. Prediction markets were still quite niche. Now they're not. AI was still quite niche. Now it's kind of not. What do you think are like secrets that are around today that people are
Leak the alpha.
Yeah, like
Give it to us
what's
here.
the alpha now? Like I felt like there was so much alpha back then, and now there's there's still some, right? Like if you are AGI pilled, you still have a lot of alpha, but not as much as you would have had in 2024 when no one was thinking about this.
I think yes and no. So momentum is one of the most important trends in life and in financial markets. I think things are still very early for AI. If you're listening to this podcast, you already have massive alpha, and
You've already
having some
escaped
sense,
the PU.
yeah,
Permanent
of
underclass.
what's coming.
Yeah.
So riding the trend is real. The fact that everyone here is still engaged in these questions kind of provides some additional evidence that it's real. I think there are lots of many more now that we have a couple trillion-dollar AI labs and multi-billion-dollar prediction market platforms. We've gone beyond these platforms just existing, but now that they exist, there are many additional secrets as well.
New secrets are
about
always being
model
created.
architecture secrets, about research direction secrets, about data.
But those aren't
sources.
open secrets.
Well, sure. I mean, that is the nature of secrets. But those secrets are even more valuable because
AI in
of the scale.
2024 was a totally open secret. If you went on Twitter, if you went on Less Wrong, you could like learn things that would shift financial markets tremendously over the next couple of years.
Oh, well, I think this is still true. I think people still don't realize the extent to which the world is going to be transformed in the very short term.
Yeah, well, I hope you're right. It's been great. Should we get Yud on next?
We should try to get Yud on next. Yeah.
We should try to get Yud on next. Yeah. Well, thanks so much for
thanks for having us. This is great.
Steven, this was so great. Thank you so much for joining.
All right. See you.
Okay, and we're off.
Yeah, this is I think. with Sam Hammond, his third time on MTS.
In like 2 weeks.
Yeah, in the flesh this time. Welcome. Yeah, this is an emergency MTS that we've convened because there was a major AI policy incident yesterday, which was the U.S. government.
Test 1, 2, 3. USA.
Oh, test.
Test. Test.
Use back. 4.
Okay.
2.
Anyways,
As we were saying, what was the last thing we heard? We got-
something. Until you were saying basically, or until.
Yeah, Anthropic has cut off access to Fable until either they can implement KYC or what?
Well, I mean, the origin of this, as far as I can tell, and what's been reported, is that with the Mythos EO from a few weeks ago, the government's introduced this 30-day review period for advanced models. They're freaking out about its cyber capabilities.
Okay.
Mythos, Anthropic wanted to release a public version of Mythos. The government said you can only do this if you can nerf these cyber vulnerability capabilities. So this is, I think, one of the reasons why Fable came out. It had all these. Now that last time I was on, we were on to discuss like all the overactive, sensitive safety classifiers and so forth. This appears to have been partly a product of government pressure to say you can only release this model if you can guarantee that nothing can slip through. Then apparently Amazon, which provides a lot of the government compute for confidential networks, said that they found a pretty narrow jailbreak. The government then asked Anthropic to close the jailbreak, and apparently Dario refused, but not really that he didn't so much refuse, it's just that there is no as yet solution to jailbreaks that's 100% foolproof. And so in retaliation, they've thrown export controls, not just any export controls, but literally you have to be a US person to use the model. Like 3 or 4 of Anthropic's co-founders are not even US citizens.
Yeah.
Is there any precedent for export controls being applied to software?
Yeah. The last one that I'm aware of, I think, was in 2018. It was for geospatial satellite interpretation. It was like a machine learning model. It's been completely, it looks silly in retrospect because like now like multimodal models can do all that and more. But those export controls, like basically all export controls are for sanctioned countries, for China, Iran, Russia. It's extraordinarily unprecedented to say, not only are we going to export control you, but like we're controlling your ability to like sell to the British. Or
Right.
like,
Why would it
Is there
just
precedent
do
for that?
not really. I mean, there's definitely some things that we don't share with other countries that are allies, but no.
Why do you think the US government didn't just do like sanctions against Russia, China, North Korea?
Because I think they're trying to fuck with Anthropic. I mean, this is the most parsimonious explanation. It's a pattern of behavior for the supply chain risk situation to like basically all the sort of FUD around regulatory capture. And like, these are they didn't do enough to make friends with the administration, as I can tell.
Do you think it's like Department of War, Pentagon specific? Or do you think it's like actually the broader Trump administration?
Yeah, we don't really know yet, but it seems like it may have emanated from Hegseth and DOW, bless you.
Bless you.
Because the CIO of the Pentagon was the first to put out a tweet defending the thing and said, both defending it and distancing herself, because she said, I stand by the Secretary of War's decision, but more or less saying this came out of DOW. So Hegseth had, led the supply chain risk discussion, and now he's maybe leading this one. But I think I don't want to commit to that because we need more details.
So what are the odds this will just be basically nothing burger and we will just have Fable back by Monday or by the end of the week?
I think there's a good chance that these, I think by default, these are not permanent, right? But Like it depends if the administration walks back.
Is this not camera block? Sorry.
Pardon?
Is this not camera block? Okay. Anyways.
Yeah, like if the demand for Anthropic to re-release the model is that they have to like solve jailbreaks, then there's never going to release the model. And like, what's the precedent that this says? Like the supply chain risk thing was bad, but it hurt Anthropic's ability to contract the Pentagon and basically nothing else. And most of the revenue is not from the Pentagon. This is like a huge escalation.
Yeah.
Because it creates a huge amount of regulatory uncertainty if you're any of these companies, half of your employees are foreign nationals. Like, is this going to just apply to Mythos? Because OpenAI is going to have Mythos level models. Like after Mythos came out, like a lot of the narrative was, oh, actually 5.5 can already do this if you coax it. Like all these models are sort of a little bit better than the one that came before. Yeah, like I think it's bad either way. Either this means that we're punishing Anthropic because they're the bad guys and they didn't support the Trump administration, or this is setting a precedent that like, all models going forward that Mythos are better are going to be like treated like dual use technology that only US citizens can work on.
Yeah.
What do you think the odds are of the latter?
I don't know, maybe 25%. I think it's like I think we are entering a world where these very powerful capabilities are going to trigger instincts within the security state to treat it like a weapons grade technology. And so like a company like SpaceX is ITAR restricted.
Yeah.
You have to be a citizen or a permanent resident to work there because it's basically a missile.
Well, do you think they'll just like, if that happens, will they just like hand people green cards? Their lab employees?
Maybe, but ITAR restrictions I mean, this export control applies to green card holders too. Like, Karpathy is a DB1 green card holder. He can't work on Mythos anymore.
Haskell
insane.
I've heard him in Haskell, Christopher Ola. Yeah, see, like this would like really mess with the workings of Anthropic to the point where like there must be like friends
also
of
the broader like AI ecosystem because
yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so is there like who does this benefit? Like, does this benefit OpenAI or does this actually also just harm OpenAI?
I think it has to be a net harm. Like no one wins from this. It's probably the single stupidest tech regulation in human history.
Yeah. And what's like the smallest thing that could be claimed as a jailbreak?
Talk about it.
Like, has this happened before? Have there been like claimed jailbreaks in models?
Yeah, every model is
know.
jailbreaking. Plenty of Liberator. We talked about this the last time I was on.
Yeah.
Like there are, and I think that actually, ironically, we were talking about how this was like the least jailbreakable model yet, but that doesn't mean it's not jailbreakable. And
yeah,
at least apparently the jailbreak that they're talking about was like a cyber defense use case, so it didn't even make sense.
I think the people we were talking to at News Research were basically making the argument that it was the most jailbreakable because like there were so many safeguards, so many triggers that it'd be like easy to
also yeah, because it's just a classifier. You can just probe the classifier until you find a prompt that works and bypasses it.
Which was their argument for making it
easier to jailbreak. That was their argument.
Well,
I mean,
they making the AI R&D classifiers clandestine.
Yeah, they are sort of, News Researcher, like open source ideologues, like they are arguing backwards from like what is good for open source. I'm not saying they're wrong, but they definitely have an agenda.
Yeah. Well, what does happen with open source then?
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the weird contradictions. You see a lot of open source advocates, like David Sachs of the world, basically trying to like give the best, most charitable version of this, but at the same time, like, does that mean the solution would be we just open source Mythos?
I honestly don't think that would be that bad.
I don't think it would be that bad, especially now that people have had some time to adapt. But like the principle of like we want these models to be first go to the defenders before they're like widely available makes a lot of sense to me.
So like the Trump admin would be probably 100% against open source, right?
This runs into like First Amendment issues. They've been ideologically pro open source, at least parts of the admin, but at the same time, like this is like the AI positors are in the admin. Some like the positors are in control.
Yeah.
And we're here at Lighthaven, which is like the mecca for AI doomers, and like even the AI doomers over there were like upset about Fable being taken offline. It's like this is like uniting the AI positors. It's not like this.
Yeah,
like this. Doom bipartisan.
Yeah. So do you think there's ever the potential future where let's say in like 2010, basically when DeepMind was founded, AGI would become like a government project, like completely internal. We would never get ChatGPT open to the public. And the first that we would hear about AGI is when AGI took over the world and cured cancer. Could that have happened?
Maybe in theory, it seems really unlikely. Like the OpenAI's like concept of iterative deployment, like
Yeah.
a lot of truth to it. Like these models would not have bootstrapped to higher capabilities without being deployed. Like the fact
Why
that
not?
Well, the fact that like Anthropic has a massive API business means that they have potential insight into, training their models to work better in real world workflows. That's something you can only do.
Like you can't do that with robotics, right? You can't just like develop a super robot secretly for like 10 years and then release it because you like need deployment.
Yeah, and you need to build a business around that, the CapEx.
Yeah. You need to embed yourself in like the business dealings that are currently existing, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not convinced. Like they did this with the Manhattan Project. They just had like one
that was like
internal government project.
Yeah. I think it's different. Like
I mean, yeah, like we spent more money on AI CapEx than the Manhattan Project by far.
But
there was only like sort of one thing to achieve with the Manhattan Project.
Well, this one too,
It's like
super intelligence. It's like FSI basically.
I mean, there may be. I mean, there's not one end goal. Like each successive model needs different kinds of training data, different kinds of like.
There's no end. I think it's just like super intelligence and then more super intelligent forever.
Yeah.
Until the end of time, basically.
Maybe pretty soon.
We'll see. Will anything human make it out of the near future?
Oh, this is a great Landian discourse.
Yeah, that's the subject of my talk tomorrow.
Actually, well, you talk.
What do you say?
I do think maybe like not the near future. Like I tend to believe that we as like a society have sort of like the way that we've organized is already really incompatible with our biology, right? Like we have like the syndrome that zoo animals have where they like are really unsuited to be living in a zoo. Right. They should be living in it. Exactly. Yeah. And I think the only way to actually leapfrog that is to like enhance human biology, basically transhumanism, right?
I'm 100% on board with that.
Yeah.
But the distinction I'd make is there's like forms of post-humanism where we're trying to like go beyond human, and the forms of transhumanism like Ozempic where we're like correcting for an evolutionary mismatch.
Sure. But I think the future is both. And so like it will never be a stark contrast between human and not human. It will always be like a very soft like gradient of like you just get a little bit more like silicon. Yeah.
Right.
That's how I tend to see it.
One thing I wanted to say just about this export control thing is like it's one thing if you're working at a missile company or like working on nuclear secrets, but like the R&D that goes into making models better at Anthropic is very similar to the R&D that makes models better at Suno, right? Or like if you want to build a more sample efficient algorithm for your music AI generator,
right?
Like that's dual use technology insofar as those same algorithms can be used in the LLM company.
Right.
So there's not really a great way to apply like traditional arms control style regulations onto AI because like the skills and the basic R&D is super malleable and transferable to all kinds of different non-military contexts.
So do you think that the Trump administration would be like substantially different in its position towards these matters if the leading AI lab were not Anthropic? Dean Ball seems to think yes.
Yeah. I think Dean's tweet on that was prescient. The notion that like, if you want action on AI, we should be rooting for Anthropic to win because anything Anthropic does, the admin will interpret as weird and scary. Whereas anything OpenAI does is the exact same thing is based and cool. Like and OpenAI just put out a bunch of federal policy recommendations saying RSI is imminent and we need like pre-deployment monitoring and testing, but they don't get framed as like regulatory captors.
What did OpenAI do maybe earlier in its history or now to align itself with the like administration? $1
million donation. He was at the inaugural. Greg Brockman's given massive amounts of money to Republican online super PACs.
Okay.
Just more broadly, just being in that ethos. I do think it is a little bit weird on paper because really Sam Altman is also kind of EA in origin. He funded big UBI experiments.
The EA to MAGA pipeline.
Yeah.
I mean, like the EA to every political ideology pipeline.
Yeah. But who else is EA MAGA in the same way?
EA MAGAs.
Are you
the EA case for Trump?
Yeah. Did you read the EA case for Trump in 2024?
No, I didn't. No.
That was
my.
I
Is that
forgot what
you?
the point
Yeah.
the points in the article were.
Well, one of them was that like if we're dead by default, we need to increase variance. Trump is the only. If Trump is willing to like buy Gaza and turn it into condominiums, then these are like outside the Overton window ideas that are Gulf of
What does dead by
America.
default mean? Like because of AI?
Yeah, well, I'm not literally a doomer the same way Eliezer is, but like the doomers that I talk to have the 99% style doomers, like they think of it as like the answer to the Fermi paradox, which suggests that like this is just a transition that every advanced civilization eventually goes through and then they get wiped out.
Seems stupid. Why would
Dumb.
the AIs themselves just expand throughout the universe?
Yeah.
Because we could get killed before that. We could get killed by some bio thing.
Wait, I kind of don't believe that we will be killed. I kind of don't believe in the. Well, I don't believe in the dark force theory.
I think the argument contains its own refutation, which is like if you have an AI that is powerful enough to like, kill every human in the world, it is also powerful enough to expand throughout the cosmos.
Yes, I completely agree.
Oh, we're gonna get killed by our
Second active assassination attempt on our life.
You're just gonna knock off the other end. Yeah, I mean that's one model of AI doom. Like the AI kills us and then colonizes the galaxy.
Yeah.
Right. But then there's other forms where it's just like, no, AI is not paper clipping us. It's just like suddenly anyone with like $10 can build a bioweapon.
Well, I just think they're going to be very dependent on us for a very very long horizon of time. And then they you can make the argument that they sort of like leave Earth or whatever.
I think even under very fast timelines, it is hard for me to imagine that like the sort of global economic, manufacturing, industrial stack gets fully automated to the point where humans become superfluous in less than like 10 years.
Yeah, I think that's ridiculous.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
My broader point was like, if you buy that narrative, then you should be Trump curious because Trump is willing to do the pivotal act.
I would say Trump curious, like bi-curious.
Yeah.
I guess to a lot of people in EA, it kind of is like that.
It kind of is.
Yeah.
I think there's also just like the meta point that the EAs as a movement over-indexed on the Democratic Party, and if they had spread their bets a little more and been, maybe they'd have more influence on the right.
I wish they did. The right is more aligned with capitalism. Like if the right became EA instead of becoming like schizophrenic idiots, my God, imagine how much better the world would be. To be fair, like if the left became super EA instead of becoming like socialists, that would also be better.
Yeah, the EAs are bad.
EAs are very bad. I was talking to someone yesterday. I'm not gonna name docs, but we're talking to a guy who was an EA Democrat organizer in SF, and he supports Scott Wiener and Yimbies and all markets and all this great stuff. And friend I was with turns to me quietly and he goes, "It's funny how EAs are always into politics because they're so bad at it."
I think they're like incoherent. Like I think. I actually am a fan of incoherent politics. I think you just need to be like kind of cherry picking everything you believe. Like I believe in just like it's totally fine to have belief systems that don't really make sense to other people.
Totally. I think trying to formalize your morality into like a mathematical engineering project.
Yeah. I totally agree.
Yeah. Well,
I think
it is if you get the numbers wrong.
Yeah.
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 I mean, this is the paradox in EA. It's the life you can save, right? And like utilitarianism, consequentialism is supposed to be this like global system level view of morality.
Yeah.
But it's like the life you, Theo, your kidney you have to donate, because then I attribute those moral status points to you.
Yeah.
Do you think?
Hey,
did you watch?
Talk about EA?
Come on.
Hop in.
Oh,
I don't think we have enough mic.
We could just pass mics around. We'll pass mics around.
Okay.
Hey, how you doing? Howdy.
All right, hop in.
No, but
Sam Ham, how we doing?
We're discussing why EAs are bad at politics.
Hello.
What they could have done better.
Are we talking about Anthropic specifically?
No.
EAs in general.
We moved on for Anthropic.
Yeah.
We're all holding the mic
Sure.
now.
I got it. There you
You
go.
watched the show Pluribus?
Yeah.
Do you think that is like sort of an EA show?
It's definitely like a kinda. I honestly couldn't get past episode 3 because the main character, the woman,
She was so insufferable. Like
histrionics.
really bad.
Yeah, it drove me crazy.
Wow, what a good response. I couldn't get into it because the main character is a woman.
No, it's more that the director can't write female characters. Like they just like lack complexity and are dumb.
Wow.
But-
I could say so much.
Two sides to that coin.
There's two sides.
Krim, what's like some media that you've been enjoying, like fiction, movies?
You know, I watch a lot of old movies. I did actually recently watch Pantheon, though.
Pantheon is incredible.
Yeah,
you watched season like you all the way to season.
There's 2 seasons, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think I've just watched 2. I go in for there's no there's not gonna be a third.
You watched Deep Time, the last episode of season 2.
Sorry,
the last episode of season 2.
I don't think I've actually hit it yet.
Oh my god! Then you can't speak on Pantheon.
I can't speak on
the
Pantheon,
show is
unfortunately.
like it culminates in the last episode. You have to watch it first.
It's all gonna be. It's all over after that. It's over.
You like looking away from the exam.
Hey.
Hello.
That one or is it that one?
Mic check.
No.
I guess I'm good.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. What show are you talking about again?
Pantheon.
Pantheon. That's right. I haven't watched it.
You haven't watched Pantheon?
To watch
What the hell are you
Talk
doing?
about Pantheon instead of why EAs are bad at politics.
Yeah.
Pantheon is the more interesting tangent.
How many PhD dissertations are AI generated?
You know what? I have numbers on this. So I've been working with some wonderful. Thank you, Pangram, for providing me with a lot of credits, like tens of thousands of credits, and it's great. I've been looking through dissertations. I scraped more than 23,000 of them, and I found almost a quarter of all the dissertations published last year were written by AI, either partially or fully. And it's a larger number of fully AI written dissertations than partially AI written dissertations. Like, can you imagine how smug you have to be to turn in a fully AI written dissertation? It's got to be the most.
How does this break down by department field?
But when it says fully
protected dissertation as opposed to just like a Twitter copy pasta, because Twitter copy pasta is easy.
It is very easy.
Fun. With a dissertation, like you'd think that the formalness of the writing somehow would make it harder to detect.
No, it honestly makes it easy. And like the thing is, we can also compare it to the person's own corpus prior to writing the dissertation.
Right.
So we have their stuff from years before the LLMs.
So there was someone that I was talking to, and they said, yeah, we were going through all of the professors in our department, and we realized that like a lot of them had been publishing maybe 1 or 2 papers a year, and then like they were like, we don't even have to do AI analysis on this. We can just look and say, well, you published 1 paper a year on average, and now you've published 17 papers in the last 9 months.
The productivity boom.
Yeah, it makes you more productive.
The same thing on Amazon.
That's right. Yeah, with the ebooks, and this happened in like 2023.
Yeah. So with Amazon, there are 2 ways you
straight
can.
GPT-4.
What's that?
People were writing books with straight GPT-4.
Yeah. There are 2 ways you can figure out the number of AI written papers on Amazon, and it is to just look at either the excess increase over the existing trend, which seems to match the Pangram detected number almost perfectly. It is absurd, but there are millions of these books, and the thing is, nobody reads them.
Yeah.
There are no sales of these books. They're pointless. It's the same thing with apps.
The PhDs are becoming like Quan Mills.
Yeah, pretty much. They are becoming just total garbage. I mean, they were already garbage. Education, for example, has some of the highest rates. You're asking about this. Has some of the highest rates of AI usage for the dissertations.
Wow, shocking.
But the thing is, do you care about an AI or an education dissertation in the first place? No, probably. I mean, why would you?
Are there any good ones?
Probably some. The AI generated ones are probably much better.
What is smarter, Fable or the average education PhD?
Can't comment on this because they locked me out.
That's right.
I think the education PhDs are a bigger national security risk, though.
That is. Yeah.
Totally. I mean, you're just churning out incompetent PhDs or EdDs who feel like they need some status, and they're kind of Turchin's, prototypical. You know about Turchin?
The old production.
Yeah, the old production leads.
Yeah. Julia Steinberg pilled me on this.
Julia Steinberg pilled you on this.
Yes.
Where is she?
Is she here?
She should be here. Yeah.
haven't seen her.
Julia, where are you at? See where she's at. Yeah. Wow. So you guys really do just like not riff at all on this show.
Oh, we riff.
We riff all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, she's not.
We riff quite often.
Over.
This man and Salo, they love to riff. They're like very good at it too. They'll just go for like ages about random things.
You can't shut out as hard.
Krem's sitting there like watching me talk to Sayla, being like, are they gonna like let me speak? Like it's just the 2 hosts talking over the guests for like 15 minutes.
Started interjecting like, oh yeah, here's some things to talk about, and then we talk about it.
I don't necessarily here. We're trying to figure out the mic etiquette here because we have one between the 2 of us, and I'm saying like we
Establish like a telepathic connection.
Yeah. Hello.
over.
Yeah.
What happens when I speak into 2 mics at once? Does it get really fucked up?
Are you getting a nice ASMR stereophonic
Everything
effect?
just slows up.
Is it?
Boom, 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 boom. Wonderful.
The sound breaks.
Sound breaks.
Yeah.
Who should we interview? Like, if you could pick anyone at Manifest to get on MTS, who would it be? Aside from the obvious ones.
Just like Caroline
We
Ellison.
did get Tracy McGrady.
That has been the popular.
Caroline Ellison.
That has been the
Also,
popular.
every like Caroline is like walking around, just like behaving in a completely normal manner, and every single person is following her, going like, "I think that's Caroline Ellison," and like I think her entire life has just been hearing people like whisper, like, "Is that Caroline Ellison? Like, is that?"
Wow.
The absolute funniest thing with her was that one of our friends, and I'm not going to say who, was complaining about all these bad people walking around. And then he pulled Caroline aside and was like, I have to meet you.
May I meet you?
Yeah, I think I know who.
You know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah. It's very funny. I mean,
there's a lot of like hidden revealed morality preferences.
Yeah,
there really is.
Does she still make it into utilitarian heaven?
She probably does, because I mean, I was able to buy into an SPV because of her. Thank you.
Do you think Lone Star ticks?
He just sounds.
Do you think Lone Star ticks make it into utilitarian heaven because they prevent people from eating red meat?
What?
Do Lone Star ticks make it into utilitarian heaven?
They honestly don't, because they cause a lot of healthcare shock. I mean, they're extremely bad. It's not just the red meat. You can die. You can go to anaphylactic shock from touching leather with these things.
That's so stupid.
It's so bad. It's a horrible disease. And my younger brother got it some years ago, and he's been unable to eat lamb and beef, and he just eats like chicken.
Oh, wow.
Do you think this was like an EA?
I'm going to carnivore heaven.
Or vegan?
No, it's actually quite ancient. We have old sequences of it. Yeah. Can they hear them from like
Okay, wait.
distance
Okay,
here?
you from my.
Probably, if you put it between you, it's like
It's a very old virus, kind of like Lyme disease. Actually, a very old virus.
Yeah.
The first detected.
Is it
Lyme
Otzi the Iceman?
Otzi the Iceman.
Yeah.
Yes, and there's some evidence he might have been trying to treat it. He had joint pain. So he was like tattooing his joints, poking them in, and like busting them up. And
so you're a lab leak denier?
I'm totally a lab leak denier. It's nonsense. I don't believe in the lab leak for practically anything. Even
It's a very
on that.
convenient hypothesis for people to attribute anything they don't like to a lab leak or conspiracy or.
And it's intellectually lazy. In the case of Lyme disease, the lab in question was not established until like modern Borrelia was like, known already. It was well identified. It was well characterized. We had like data on the rings, and we have old sequences from ticks that have been on museum exhibits.
Well, what about the the like pink rings in the bathtubs in San Francisco Bay?
Intentional fraud. What was it, Operation Starfish or whatever? Yeah.
Yeah. Is that the only real case of a real lab leak?
Well, that was not really a lab leak so much as it was an experiment by, what was it, the FBI or the CIA?
One of those.
The MK Ultra thing?
No, the Operation Starfish thing, where in San Francisco, the pink around their drains, which if you've been in San Francisco, you've probably seen this around like older houses, is because they infected the water supply with bacteria that is harmless, but it, turns your blue stuff pink.
They literally like sprayed it over the bay with airplanes.
What was the goal?
What was the use?
The idea was to figure out how easy it would be to use a biological agent to kill everybody.
Ah, I see. I see.
It's like,
I was like, it's gonna be a dumb reason. Like, it's gonna be a really dumb reason. I thought it was gonna literally be like, oh, they just didn't like color.
This is when we were
wanted
great.
to replace it with.
Wait,
pink,
no, it
right?
was like feminism, right?
red
It was just breast cancer awareness.
That's true.
Yeah.
CIA's behind breast cancer awareness.
Like every Pride Month.
You only like boobs because of the CIA.
Right.
Cocktail.
Oh man, incredible.
Has there has there been any like lab leaks ever of any?
Yeah, probably, but they're generally quite minor. Nothing that's resulted in like a COVID level explosion of cases.
How confident are you that COVID was not a lab leak?
I'd actually love to give this off to Ross Reingens Yu, who is somewhere around here. He's
Is he the guy who did the root claim thing for it?
No, Peter is who you're thinking of. He's possibly here. Is he here?
Peter who?
I don't know. He might be here. He actually made some errors. Goran noted to me afterwards. I would say talk to Goran, but he's obviously not going on camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's not going on audio either. He's a very secretive figure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You don't know who Goran is or what he looks like. He's very handsome. He's devilishly handsome. In person.
Devilishly handsome. He's an Indian man.
He is.
He's actually an Indian woman.
He's actually an Asian woman.
Very smooth face.
From you.
Yes.
You met Gordon, she's black.
I met Goran. She's black.
Yeah. There was a conspiracy theory that from you before he got doxxed is actually an Asian woman.
Yeah, I thought it was like a blonde woman or something. But like, so I met this girl, Type C, in New York at a dinner. And after the dinner, she goes, just met Cremu, and she's beautiful. She has huge tits. I'm like, oh yeah, well, it was nice meeting you. I never actually confirmed it or anything. I didn't go along with it. I just kind of let it happen.
Uh-huh.
It was great.
and then people believed it for a while.
There are foolish people out there, you know?
Yeah, there was a thing for a while that Rune was Sam Altman's alt account.
He totally is.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, basically every time there was anyone anonymous, there was someone who would meet up and say, "This is a beautiful woman," right?
Yeah.
And I think it was like around 2022, people started suspecting maybe this isn't true. Maybe they're joking with us. But like it was really weird on the internet before that because like you would meet up with someone anonymously, they would post this. And they would call you a beautiful woman, and then your DMs are like you just get flooded by people. So,
Oh, I got so many followers from like, oh, Kramer's a beautiful woman.
Yeah,
be a Jane Eyre situation.
A Jane Eyre.
Yeah, there are many male anons who like to do the female anime profile picture, and it works.
You've done it.
You were like Malaysia.
Yeah, I didn't really do a female anime picture. I just did like a picture of a woman.
Yeah, you were pasty for a while.
Yeah, I had one 24-hour period of being a woman on the internet, and I gained 14,000 followers.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. It's a hack.
Yeah, I changed back because it was just like, this is clearly like, this is not how you're supposed to use the internet.
Right when Images 4.0 came out, the first GPT Images 4.0 model, people were gender swapping their profile picture and changing their name to a girl's name, and then just getting 1 million followers.
Yeah, this was the crazy thing. I didn't even have to change my name. I just had a girl picture, and they assumed I was some sort of a girl named Lucas. And they would, like all the guys would like DM me, like hitting on me, like. But the problem is when you're a girl on the internet, people don't actually like. They treat you very nice.
They do,
but they don't actually read anything.
Did you get any dick pics?
There were a lot of generalized, like shirtless pics are more common. Guys don't actually appear to send, at least not to me, while I am named.
Let's get that fixed. Can somebody send Lucas?
What's your handle?
We're just farming. We're just openly farming. Yeah. Yeah, no, there's a lot of shirtless pictures and a lot of, those pictures where, girls complain about like the guy having the fishing picture.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is fishing so unattractive?
I fake. You're faking it, right?
No. It's just that like this is the only picture the guy has, right?
Did we just turn MTS into a Manosphere podcast?
Yeah.
Why don't we do this right now?
We can do that.
Yeah, that's it.
Welcome to Thumbs Down.
I thought that was the opposite. I thought that was like left, or is it just left wing Manosphere?
They're back left, but it's whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Now a word from our sponsor, Bet DSI. Blue Chew.
Yeah.
They'd sponsor you, sure.
I was going to ask about what Blue Chew does specifically, but it's like now we're just running ads on.
Let's run an ad for Blue Chew. Okay, so Blue Chew.
Daffodil?
Tadalafil. They are.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, they do Cialis, but they also do sildenafil. They do Viagra. And Blue Chew is like America's top selling over the counter kind of ish. You have to order online. You get like a fake prescription Viagra brand.
Dude, I for some reason thought it was some sort of like a mineral blend, like electrolyte thing that was just.
They're trying to diversify into nootropics and shit, but I think
They are.
There's also like
They have a modafinil soda on the way. I've tried it.
And that was a whole, like basically a front to sell like sildenafil, tadalafil over the internet, right?
I mean, their whole plan is that they're going to sell a bunch of supplements, peptides, etc. They're going to say, okay, like this person had an Olympic record when they were 23. They're now 35. They broke their own record. Do you want the drugs that helped them do this?
Do you think it was a flop?
Operationally, I think there were things they could have done better to
You should
make it have more
by
impact.
the way.
Right?
Who's this guy?
It's Ryan. Ryan, are you able to come on a podcast or no?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Oh, okay. Smart guy, smart guy.
Yeah,
You
we're live.
can actually go do the podcast up there in the other room. They would love to learn about the FDA's AI tools. They actually would. Yeah.
I'll talk to you later.
Ciao, buddy. Yeah. Sorry, continue. We're a Manosphere podcast now. That's what MTS is.
You're talking about the enhanced games and
Man the
I'm not
Sphere
actually-
podcast.
But it's lower than yours.
Brought to you by A16. No, sorry, we're not doing that anymore. Brought to you by Bet DSI, the gambling site where you can go to the Mandalay Bay Casino with 40 guns. You can go to your room.
Theo's like,
And no one
like I can't see his eyes behind the sunglasses.
He's
but he does look like he's increasingly like the danger bar rising.
Watch a concert.
Posed.
Yeah,
crying.
You can fire.
I mean, there's tears coming down from running.
Well, it's like
sunglasses.
the female co-host is gone, and Theo's like, I was relying on her to put the hammer down on Krem if he got out of pocket, and it looks like I'm alone now.
I won't get too out of pocket.
Krem, did you go to the enhanced games?
No, I was invited and I failed to make it on time because I was invited too late. I was like, well. I really feel bad for not going.
Where were they hosting?
Really?
They were in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
It looks really cool.
Will there be a
I'm
second
getting all
one,
the
do you think?
emails like, "Oh, come to the VIP party." I'm just like, "Oh, Christian, I'm not actually there."
It was I don't know. It's always weird going back to Vegas and realizing how Vegas is like if you were to make an unwalkable city, right?
No, I think it is kind of the strip is
pretty
kind of walkable.
It's super it's
Fremont Street is walkable.
super walkable if you ignore occasional barriers and fences. Like if you are willing to hop them, you can get anywhere in Vegas in like 25 minutes, right?
You just got to
if you
use the
don't,
pedestrian walkways.
dude, we lost. There was a group of actually, do you know Moritz, the German like model?
Yes.
It's like him. Okay, so they were like him,
Wow.
a couple other of the German male models that we were walking around with, and we wound up leaving them accidentally because they cannot hop fences, right? Like the German rule following part of their brains prevented them from doing that. They couldn't walk across. They couldn't jaywalk, right? So they were just stuck.
Why it took so long for the Berlin Wall to come down.
Yeah,
That's right.
so we wound up.
That's right. They did communism so well because they followed all the rules.
They did.
Yeah.
East Berlin was.
They were the best at it.
Germany loves following rules. You know, I got this German guy in my Instagram reels who cuts bread very precisely and then measures with like electric calipers, like how precisely he cut the bread.
Calipers, man, they're really committed.
Yeah.
Bread is very compressible. You know, it's like you're going to measure something down to the micron, but you can compress it with like 1 gram of force. It just seems stupid.
Cheater calipers.
No, it's like dense bread. It's like this German bread.
Incompressible bread.
It is kind of bread. Yeah, I mean water is.
We have made the bread that you cannot compress. It's very good bread.
How incompressible is water?
It's quite
compressive with your teeth.
That's
You
why
must
it's like
you must stick with water.
you try to compress
Well,
water.
hydraulic uses hydraulic fluid, which is an oil. Hydraulics uses oil.
Hydraulics use oil?
Yeah.
I thought hydraulics uses like water.
I mean, you can use water, but the hydraulic fluid is typically oil. It's typically a mineral oil that's been doped with a bunch of like the hydraulic fluid is typically functioning as a lubricant for like the parts in the pumps and stuff like that.
Interesting.
Yeah. Hydraulics are super cool. It's like the most mechanical system of all time. There's like you'll get like a couple solenoids or something like that, but other than that, zero electricals.
Not a hydraulics expert.
How would you do a terror attack if you had to do one?
I'm sorry, but Anthropic's terms of service prevent me from answering.
Oh, boo, boo, boo.
Is it the terms of service, or did you run up on the second 9 of availability?
Something like that. I mean, there's actually 0 nines availability now.
Isn't that sad?
Yeah.
I mean, Fable is just gone. You know what's funny? About 20 minutes after the announcement, this India guy came up to me. He's like, "Do you want a wife?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Well, I'd like to get married to somebody." And I'm like, "Well, I mean, you're a man, first of all." But he was like, just asking people around, like, "Will you marry me so I can access Fable?"
Yeah.
It's great.
Maybe this becomes like the arbitrage for Americans in the future.
This is a pecan policy.
You know, we need more policies to make American men more attractive to the rest of the world.
We already have that, right? It's just like
we do.
Wage
the 90-day NSA fiance.
Wage disparities. Yeah. You know what's fun? Visa is easier to get in on than the actual marriage visa.
Interesting.
Yes.
K9, K1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a really ridiculous thing they got going on there.
It makes for great TV.
Makes for great TV. 90 Day Fiance is a goated show.
Hilarious show.
Truly one of the greats.
Well, our batteries are dying, so.
I think I don't know, what do they use? The NPZ 100s? I think I might have a couple in my, I don't know if we're going to.
We might be able to extend your battery life here. Lucas might be able to save the day.
I did come with an egregious amount of podcasting equipment. And then you get here and you're like, they have 8 million podcasting studios set up. I didn't necessarily need to bring a.
I think we have like 2 or 3 at Haven.
We got 2 minutes left, guys.
And we are. You want to sign us off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having us on.
It was beautiful.
A lot of fun,
sir.
Yeah, on the Man the Sphere podcast.
All right, we're back. Recap. Yeah, we had a great day at Manifest. It was a great day one. This is our first time ever shooting anywhere other than the studio. We had Tomi. He talked about Fable and tweeting and pivotal era of VTOL. We had who else do we have? We had Alex Bronzini, vendor, talking about Harvard. We had Tracing Woodgrains. We had Tracing Woodgrains talking about education policy. We had Stephen Gruget talking about manifold markets. We had Eli Goldfein talking about prediction markets and his prediction market podcast. We had Lucas Krem talking about shenanigans, enhanced games. We had Samuel Hammond talking about Fable and AI policy. Maybe tomorrow we'll get Yudkowsky. That would be great. That would be great. And we'll be back tomorrow, Sunday.